live. I'm going to wait another 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's
3,
fucking
2,
go. So,
1.
Sigus.
3, 2, 1.
Sigus, go ahead
Hi.
and hit us up with that summary.
Okay, so this summary is going to be a little more lax, but the party starts the last session on the cursed ship, and we basically know that we are going to get a huge payday if we can go track down these masks, the remaining masks. So what we do is we set out to find them, and we go and check out the sawmill, where we thought the cult was meeting, even though Ironbriar, who was part of the cult, had said he'd sealed it off, so we weren't expecting too much, but we went there, and we meet a whole bunch of guards on the way. We ended up talking our way through, Robin sneaking out around, and we end up in the sawmill, and it looks like it has been cleaned, scrubbed magically, non-magically. There's no real sign of anything. Robin is kind of clambered up on the roof, but we do end up finding a secret room. And Robin checks it in from the window, and as we go up, we find it's like an old hidden rookery, where clearly some group has been exchanging messages. But we don't find any clues there, so we use magic to try and locate the other masks, and then we chase that magical yellow brick road to a ship that is leaving shortly, and through a mix of charm and very intimidating weaponry, we get onto the ship, and we follow it to the back to these passenger cabins where we know the masks are in there. So Silera, and it's filled with people. And so Silera puts on this incredible performance, and people act as hype mans, and we basically get everyone to kind of move towards the front of the ship, so they don't get caught in the crossfire. The rest of the party all lines up to a door, and we basically all kick in the door at the same time, to try to recover the masks and hopefully take some of these cultists alive. Long story short, there's a good fight. At some point, someone pulls out a gun, which Sigus does not approve of. But in the end, we ran into it seemed like a higher level priest, and we tied them all up. We'd recovered these evil masks. Everything was all fine until it turns out that they had a death pact, and one of them just channeled negative energy and killed all the rest of them. So not a lot of people to talk to, but we got our masks, and we took them back, and we got our sweet payday. And when this battle happened, it did cause quite a commotion. Lots of people trying to flee and get off the boat. There's a bit of a stampede. Probably not the finest, heroic hour, but we went in to find some evil cultists in their masks. We did that, and then we sold them for a lot of money. So overall, pretty solid day for the Skirmishers.
Yeah, that about sums it up. I will just emphasize a lot of money. Those masks sold for a lot of fucking money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, so
they're no longer on the street, so that is a good thing.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me a forfeit die for tonight.
Thanks.
Nothing but minuses. Give me all the power.
Nope. Nope.
Sounds about right.
Not allowed.
Not
4DF.
Not on Soren's birthday.
Oh, guys, I got it right.
Nice.
First try.
Nice.
2-0.
Sweating bullets.
360 no scope.
Alright, two not. But yeah, so we pick right back up where we left off, and I believe the last thing that you guys did was you departed from the misfortune, seeking perhaps some more equipment in last-minute purchases, since the ship is not departing until tomorrow morning. So you have the better part of the afternoon and all of the night, your last night in Magnimar, before you depart in the morning aboard the Misfortune on the road to Corvosa. So my question to you guys is, what the fuck do you want to do?
I don't know, man, rolling our money.
Yeah, so definitely going shopping, I think, for everyone.
Spending would be fantastic.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree.
and yeah, and like we could also just keep it simple, like spend the money, get on the boat, not really mess with stuff. We could try, I don't know, we have a couple like loose ends we could try and tie off, but we could also just like write a message, send it by Raven, and be like, "Here are your cultists. We've done our part. By the way, we're going to Corvosa. It's been fun. Thanks."
Yeah, I
Like,
think
Should we maybe follow up with Ruben?
did we yes did we establish that like we kind of handed off where
Yes.
all the locations were,
Which locations?
like the kind of points of interest that we had related to the cult, i.e., I believe we had that conversation with Salazar.
Yes.
Right.
You talked to Salazar, and Salazar talked to Mayor Gerbaras. And I think I forgot to mention this, but the 6,000 gold that I sort of mentioned that you had obtained, that would have been given to you, Erica, in the morning. Well, it will be sort of be given to you in the morning that you're planning to depart Magnamore. And it comes with a letter of appreciation from the very Lord Mayor of Magnamore, who commends you for your valiant effort in protecting his life as well as the safety of the Magnamarians. And with it, he sends a small treasure box containing 6,000 gold pieces.
So on top of the
Damn.
32,400 from the mask, we get another 6.
no, we
It was
got
already
that in our
announced.
last payout,
Yeah.
and he
Okay.
just gave it to us as an advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the sake of you guys being able to decide what the fuck you were gonna buy or spend, I sort of told you you're gonna get 6,000 ahead of time. For the sake of logistics.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. The other thing that I completely agree with Sarah that we should touch off with. Did Simon and Ruben leave already?
No, they are as far as you know, they are still in town. You would probably see them tonight, like the night before you leave Magnamore, at the Crimson Raven. As per usual, you guys sort of had agreed to meet up for dinner at the sort of restaurant slash bar area of the inn. If you guys had anything to update them on. So yeah, you have Simon and Ruben at your disposal.
Yeah, let's go touch base with them.
Yes.
We'll tell him that we took out the skeleton, the scarecrow, because I know they were kind of following him. Or just
Golem.
yeah.
Oh. Well, it seems you've had quite a busy day. Yeah. Okay. So you took care of the scarecrow, and I've heard rumors in the streets that there was some kind of commotion in the underbridge.
Yeah, the bell tower.
Yeah. Just a bit of commotion. Yep.
So the whole cultist thing is now dealt with. We can say that much. In Magnamar, so we've I guess saved the city kind of.
Okay.
Or at least put a significant dent.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Well, that is commendable. Commendable, yes. I hope that well, if you're, I'm still trying to figure out a way to help my aunt. She's still sick. We have sort of come to a dead end in our investigation, at the very least. I don't know if the lot of you have found anything out. On
We
your end?
did find a list of names. And I believe it was your uncle
Mm-hmm.
I think we found his name on it.
Interesting.
It
I
had
can-
been crossed off though. It looked kind of like a hit list, more or less.
Yeah.
Sort of looks somber and looks at the table for a moment. Okay. I suppose you can't quite live even honorably without making it. But thank you for letting me know.
If you're interested, the woman that your aunt purchased or was attempting to purchase an artifact from, or sell an artifact to, sorry. There were two people, I believe, Frank and another woman. That woman, Zanisha, we believe is responsible for most of this, and could be the key to the illness as well if she's playing that underhanded.
Okay.
Also, it is possible that some of the documents that were detained by the guard may help in your searches. So maybe contact them about documents seized at the clock tower.
Okay. I'll talk to the authorities about those documents. This woman, Sanisha, um, do you know of her whereabouts?
Her at the clock tower, but she was able to escape. She, I believe, what did you call her, Sigus?
She was
Lamia?
a Lamia matriarch.
Matriarch.
Yes, so she can change her shape to look like a normal person, but her true form is a large snake body with the upper torso of a woman, and she's quite gifted with compulsion magic.
Okay.
Yes.
I suppose.
Anyway,
Your wits about you.
she,
Yes.
we understand her sister has attempted a similar cult activity in an what was that fort called, or town?
Fort-
Turtleback.
Turtle Fairy something? Yeah.
Turtleback Ferry, and the fort is Fort Rannoch.
Yeah. So yes, Fort Brannock and Turtleback Ferry. It sounds like that's where she's operating out of. They aren't on good terms, but that's our best lead for where she may have gone. The ship that the cultists tried to steal out of town on, however, was bound for the nearest free port outside of Riddleport. Whatever the hell that thing is called.
Um, um, that's Roderick's Cove, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, I mean, the I don't want to speak for the rest of the party, but my understanding is that we're leaving shortly to investigate our own case of mysterious illness in Corvosa. Do you have a location where we can find you if we find out something useful while we're there, if it happens to be the same illness?
You can always contact me via message or send a raven. I suppose. I'm going to be investigating some more, researching here. Um, I'll look into Lamia's in particular and see if I can assemble some mercenaries to head to Fiddleback Ferry.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you. We've also informed the authorities here in Magnamar, so it may be worth coordinating just to save yourself some money and get some powerful allies on side.
Certainly, though I feel this is a little bit more of a personal matter, something that the state handling.
Fair.
I'll stay for a week here, and I'll probably depart towards Fiddleback Ferry in a week, having assembled some mercenaries. It'll probably take us another 10 days to get there, so if you need to reach me by a raven, well, there you go. You should calculate based on that.
Okay.
But I can't overstate how thankful I am for all the assistance you've lent me. Truly, thank you.
Well, we wish you the best of luck on your investigation as well.
Likewise, I think all of us need the best luck that we can manage.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I suppose supper is getting cold, so let's get to it. And I believe you guys should turn an early night if you're planning to depart in the morning.
Yeah, I guess we
Yes.
probably should.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna propose a toast since we're gonna be parting ways. Um, Perhaps a drink or two before you head out. I'm not much of a drinker, but one glass shouldn't be too much.
How do we know you're not the Lamia matriarch?
Because he would detect as evil, I believe.
I'm
Because-
just fucking with you, obviously. Come on, guys. Guys. Oh my god. Robin just like sort of like leans on the fucking nearest table, like with one hand, and puts his other hand to his forehead and is like, oh, it's been a long fucking day, but I had no fucking idea you guys were gonna be this drained. Alright. Okay.
All right, let's get to drinking. Here's to allies and honor.
To allies and honor. That's a good one.
That ain't
Here,
bad.
here.
Yeah, you sort of clink your tankards and glasses together, and then we can proceed with supper. If there's anything else you'd like to say to or chat with Simon and Ruben before you depart, let me know. Otherwise, I believe it is about time we skip to the morning.
Oh no.
Uh, Erica would have probably gone and said bye to Irene before she left, but we don't have to roleplay that out.
Sure. You probably do that in the early morning, right after your prayers. Take a moment.
Oh yeah, because she's up baking anyway.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. You can probably hit the bakery. You would find the lights are on. You can see the puff of smoke coming off the chimney, indicating that the ovens are already full at work. And you can have a moment to talk with her and have a moment to say your goodbyes for the time being again. You sort of left for a week, came back for 3-4 days, and you're leaving already. Yeah. We can probably do something off screen after
Yeah,
the session.
we'll
right?
cover that out.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah. Is there anything left to do in Magnamore, guys, before you depart?
Should we let Dorban know right now?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Nah, screw that guy.
He
Just
left
ghost him.
us.
Comes to the tavern and we're just
He
gone.
stole the
like,
Necronomicon
what the
and
fuck?
left.
Yeah, I would just want to point out the last time we saw him, he was leaving with the super evil artifact and was never seen from again.
Yeah.
Yup.
So you guys don't know where Dorban is, but Robert, does Dorban have access to message?
Sending, yeah.
Sending. Okay, perfect. Then I think it would probably be at this point that Dorban can let the rest of the party know that he has been unable to destroy the book. Up to you, Dorban, how you want to inform the party that has happened. But unfortunately, there is no cleric in the entire town that has been able to properly dispose of this cursed book.
I mean, Dorban would probably he would probably send a message letting you know that it was unable to be successful, and if I mean, whatever your guys' reply to that would be, I guess.
I think we like we know a guy who specializes in storing these things safely. So I think
As
Not
much as
that-
I hate to agree with you on that, I think it is the safest place for an artifact of this
Mhm,
magnitude.
mhm. Um yeah. I think that's like the safe thing for now. And then
Plus,
Yeah.
if for now at least, it'll have all of us guarding it. We just need to make sure that you're not still attracted to the darn thing.
yeah, like I'm not super excited about this plan, but like I think it makes sense rather than just leave it behind. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like it replaced all my. Also, I'm not going to be sleeping anymore. By the way.
Hey,
What?
cheers to that. Welcome to the Not
Yeah.
Sleeping Club.
Sorry, I got a spell that means I don't have to sleep again. So I'm gonna just
What?
do that and read and research and scry and copy spells into my spell book all night long, every night. I did that this night too.
What a cheater.
I know. So that could help.
I mean, that seems tiring, but I guess if you don't sleep, you don't get tired.
I still rest. Yeah, I still rest as if I get 8 hours of sleep. I just have to spend that 8 hours like not doing anything strenuous. So like sitting or like keeping watch. It's a spell
So
designed
you-
for like keeping watch.
You're
And I'm
kind
just
of
gonna be-
sleeping with your eyes open.
Kind of. I just am sustained by magic. So
It's the spell that people use when they want to binge watch Netflix.
yes.
True.
You mean the
Great.
spell
Play-
that Netflix casts on you when you're binge
Yeah.
watching Netflix?
It's called play next. Or play all.
Yeah, I
Autoplay.
disabled that.
Autoplay
Are
all
Are you
day.
are you still watching?
Yes, Netflix, I'm still watching.
Do
Are
you
you
want
still
to-
watching Somebody's Daughter?
Yeah.
The meme.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Anyway,
So that'll help. That should help because it comes after me in my sleep. And we'll be in a pillowcase, guys.
There you go.
so you guys can, if you so desire, retrieve the book from Dorban. Up to you, Robert, whether Dorban would hand over the artifact or not.
Nope. He would
Nah.
not.
Yep.
What a dick.
Boo, you're no fun.
Boo, you suck.
Upon hearing that you guys are leaving town, he would probably then decide that it's probably best if he look for a way to destroy it.
Mm.
I mean, maybe talk to Frank.
I mean, yeah, that'd probably be a good idea, I guess.
He does seem to know the most about these types of artifacts aside from anyone in the clergy I've met.
Yeah, alright. No harm in talking to him.
Yeah.
It's just not something I feel comfortable leaving out in the world.
Agreed. I would definitely prefer it destroyed.
So where's Dorbin been keeping it?
In the pillowcase that he originally had it in.
Oh god, yeah. Hey Dorbin, do you mind
Just
casting
a dirty sack.
do you mind casting a spell for? I guess actually, how does that work? Because it filled all my prepare. Yeah, I'll just ask him to cast any spell that isn't a cantrip, just to make sure his entire brain isn't filled with necromancy spells.
I cast sending already.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. I don't know what level sending is.
It's like
Never
third
mind
or
that.
fourth.
Not first.
Oh,
Or-
that's pretty sweet.
Or 0th, sorry.
It's actually a pretty high level, all things considered, spell.
Mhm.
Yeah, fourth.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, is Dorban gonna go bring the book to Frank in that case?
Well, he'll ask Frank about the book. If he happens to know of anybody that can destroy it, I guess.
Yeah, but my question is, would Dorban be going to the ship to talk to Frank,
Yeah.
or is he like
Yeah.
casting another sending spell?
He would just go and talk.
Sure.
Someone
Then,
use all this for themselves.
Then it's been a bit, but you guys sort of are with your good old friend Dorbin as you visit what the misfortune once again. And as per usual, Frank would receive you in his office. This would be the morning that you're supposed to depart. You guys have about like an hour, hour and a half before you need to. You have your sort of shift, your window of departure. Yeah. Frank is there and ready to receive you and have any kind of chats. He sort of greets the lot of you and says, good morning, everyone. I hope that everyone's has finished their preparations for departure. I know your horses have already been loaded. We made sure that everyone's nice and comfortable. So, Dorman, good to see you again. Are you going to be joining us on the trip to Corvosa?
I mean, possibly. I'm actually here to ask you a quick question. Hopefully quick.
Sure thing.
So, our wonderful friend Sigus here had stumbled across a spellbook that is cursed. And
Okay.
it changed all of his spells to necromancy spells. It's a very powerful artifact. I'd like to know if you know of anybody that can destroy it.
Give me a sense motive.
God.
Are the
I
rest
do
of us in the
want
room
it.
for this?
Yeah, you should be able to see the map right now.
Oh,
We
yes.
can get more money.
Yeah, you can.
Just
You
tell
can all,
you.
if you want to.
Absolutely. It's probably so much.
If you want to, you can give me a sense motive, everyone.
Yeah.
Money,
Everyone?
money, money, money.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Well, hello.
Okay.
Nailed it.
So
Still rolled a 2.
yeah, Erica
Right.
and Solera.
Wow.
God damn.
So the lot of you. Oh yeah, Grigori should be here as well.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
So
Always.
to the lot of you, Frank is like doesn't seem very interested. He sort of caresses his chin for a second, and then sort of holds his walking cane with both hands. And it's like, okay, let me see it. For Eric and Solera, there's like a brief second when Dorban mentions the type of artifact that this is, or the type of magical object that this is.
That it's a spell book or that it's necromancy.
You're
an
not certain which
artifact.
part of it. It's like this is a spell book containing necromancy spells, and it sort of has mind affecting effects. For Solera and Erica, there's that brief moment where you see like Frank. It's not just that he's not very interested. It's more so like he winces and he's like, you can tell like he's repulsed by it almost. Like he winces in a sort of, oh, I'm not certain about this one, sort of thing.
Oh, okay, awesome. That is a good reaction.
But yeah, Frank sort of says, sure, let me see the book.
Don't touch it. That's when we ran into problems last time.
Yep. And he'll pull out the bag and dump it onto the desk.
Yeah, you sort of thump. The humans, the stitched human leather bound book rests atop the table with the chain sort of holding it shut and the eye at its center closed. And as the book sort of lays flat on the table, the lot of you would see suddenly the eye sort of cracks open and starts looking around, and looks over to Eric and Dorban first. Scans the room around you guys, and then it focuses on Frank, who's the closest person. And you see Frank sort of take a step back, and he's holding his cane, and he's like,
Has it done that before?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
moved
time
yeah.
we saw
Every
it.
time
Jeez.
you guys have been around the book, it sort of cracks open its eye and like starts looking around and fixates on one person.
Gotcha.
You've only seen it 3 times now, and it's done that every single time.
Okay.
Disgusting artifact, no?
Uh, yes. It's um, not something that I would be. It's the one thing that I wouldn't be willing to trade in. I have my limits in as to what I'm willing to handle. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find someone else to sell this to or destroy.
Oh, no.
We
We
were
want
hoping.
to burn it.
If you know
Yeah.
somebody who can, I would like a lead so that I can go on, so I can get this thing not existing ever again.
Or if we
Well-
can put it on ice somewhere, make it safe and contained until we find a solution.
I mean, you put it in the
no,
void that
no,
you
no,
have.
no, please. Just take the book and handle it somewhere. Don't tell me about it, please.
What is going on with you, man?
Okay.
It's
Are you okay?
Like, I get that necromancy is
Here,
bad,
let's
but like,
let's get the book into the bag first, and then we can have this
Corbin
discussion.
is already in the process of putting it back in the bag. All right. I was just wondering if you had any insight for me on somebody who may help, or maybe be able to help. If not a big deal. I'm
no.
sure.
The less I know about how you're handling it, the better. Just
Alright.
don't
No problem.
don't tell me anything about it.
interesting.
Okay.
Not an issue.
Why don't
I appreciate the time, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll.
We'll let you know if we find more powerful casters that may have an idea, Dorbin.
All right.
Are you staying in this area, or will you be traveling?
Actually, if you guys wouldn't mind, my first thought is to take it to the one that trained me.
well here we're having this conversation not in the room with Frank, though,
The,
as he asked. Or at least some of us will go with Dorbin. Ziggis can go with
There's-
Dorbin.
there's one recommendation that I can give you, Dorbin.
Yeah.
And it's the one place that I know that I'm not going to be visiting, and I'll make sure to avoid it at all costs. But you should give the ancient city of Karamaga a try. I know that there are very capable people as well as some unscrupulous characters in that town.
All right.
Um,
That works for me.
Though I will let you know that access to that city is not exactly easy. There are some requirements and some conditions you need to fulfill before you are allowed into the city. So I recommend that perhaps you visit some other towns to investigate the subject. I myself have yet to gain access myself, so I can't help you with that.
Yeah, I'll probably talk to some of my fellow clergymen. The priests of Abadar usually have a pretty good connection most places, so they may be able to at least clue me in on how best to go about entering the city.
Best of luck with that. But again, don't
Yep, no
don't tell me anything further, please.
I will make sure not to do that.
Oh, is there anything else any of you need before we depart?
Once Dorbin leaves, Erica would try to have a word with Frank about that whole thing that just happened.
Before Dorgan leaves, he'll look
No.
at the party and say, "Don't worry about Frank in the book. It's his business.
Yeah,
Keep it that way."
he's done a lot for us, so let's just blind eye this one.
And then Dorbin will just dip.
And it's not like we don't have a whole week together.
Exactly. If he wants to talk about it, he's got the opportunity.
The way Erica was going to approach it was basically just going to be to say, hey, I noticed that reaction to the book. That was weird. You don't have to tell me what it is, but I would hope that it is not some sort of a temptation thing.
Do you want to approach
Out of,
that?
out of
Yeah, out of
oh,
character.
sorry.
Yeah. This is something that we're talking about out of character. But
Yeah.
do you want to approach Frank after Dorman
Well,
leaves
I
with
mean,
that, or?
I mean, if the party's kind of leaving together and talking to each other, then like, I mean, Silera and Robin both know Frank way the hell better than Erica does, so they may have an explanation.
Ah,
But she would probably broach the subject at some point during the week.
I would assume that because he deals with sensitive types of stuff, that things that would potentially harm him or affect the way that he can conduct business, I think he wants to steer clear from.
False.
False?
Yeah.
You think
Or
it's
if
the
it's-
opposite?
He has a lot of clientele, and he knows a lot of people, and a lot of people know him. So if he knows about this, there's somebody out there that wants it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah,
that can
and it's
go
super
through
evil.
Frank
Gotcha.
to get it.
Okay.
So
That makes
the
sense.
less he
Yeah.
knows, the better it is.
And
Gotcha.
he seems pretty set on like he's like, yeah, I deal in curse items, but anything like truly damaging and evil, he
Right.
like blocks away. And this is one of those things.
Right.
I've been wrong before though. I liked Ironbriar, so you know,
Well,
True.
just throwing that.
That's my issue. It's, since we're discussing this, it's just I Ironbriar I at least knew of and knew that he was a figure of authority and could be trusted, and he was corrupted, and I don't know Frank aside from you guys vouching for him, and he appears to have behaved honorably so far.
Dude
But
just gave us a whole bunch of money. I'm not about to
Uh,
fucking question him if he doesn't want to know something.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying that. I just
Let's just not make this
It's-
hard on him and move on,
it-
honestly.
yes, the trust is hard without knowing why.
I mean, I just told you why. He knows so many people in the loop, and a bunch of them probably want curse items for bad reasons. So he doesn't want to know about it, because if he knows about it, the bad people will know about it. That's
Dorman,
it.
just gonna put a hand on Erica's shoulder and just look Erica deep in the eyes. Just like, have faith, and that'll be the last of what Dorman says, and you'll walk off.
Alright.
By
If he
Dor- by
fucking
Dorban.
dies, and that's the last thing he says, we'll all know.
Wise words.
I
Dorban,
always come
wise
back.
words.
Famous last
Um,
words.
Look, it would be some fucking good last words from a cleric. Have faith, and that is
Yeah,
the
right?
last time you see him.
We're all level 14. Oh yeah, Dorban's dead. What? Yeah, he's
What?
been dead for like a while. What? What?
Alright,
The
so
big bad got him and took the book.
Guys,
Yeah.
Dorban easy. Kidding.
easy GG.
Plot twist.
Yeah, you guys have sort of sorted that out. Dorban walks off the ship and back into the city to handle that. And you guys have about an hour until the ship needs to leave the docks, which means that in about 30 minutes the plank is going to have to be raised.
Yep.
Mhm.
And as this is happening, you see the bodyguard that was at the entrance sort of start to clean up the sort of not quite desk area, but sort of that sort of reception near the plank, and he starts to bring some of his stuff onto the ship itself. And you see a group of about 6 sailors start to bring their bags onto the ship and start to take their possessions aboard the ship. Very, very evidently, and like sort of standing out amongst the otherwise human crew of the ship, is someone who is perhaps a little bit of a sore thumb in this crowd. There's a drow who is standing, who comes out of the lower decks and walks up to the helm of the ship.
Sweet.
What? Knowledge
Uh,
check would it be to even know what a drow is?
Sure.
You know what a drow is.
You know what a drow is. It looks like an elf, but they are.
Dark elf, yeah.
Yeah, they have a gray, sort of almost bluish skin, piercing, sort of, usually like very colorful eyes that reflect a lot of the light. Um, in this case, the captain has these sort of steel gray piercing eyes, and he has like this scowl constantly on. His hair is this pure white that doesn't quite have a shine to it. It sort of almost looks like it's dirty. And they are sporting a sleeveless vest, and their arms are covered in what looks like white ink tattoos. And they're sort of have both hands on the wheel of the ship, and they're sort of overlooking the crew. Um, every now and then, you do see them like point at someone, and then point at one of the stations, and everyone just like, okay, yeah, and they react to the silent orders of the captain.
Cool. Is he? Do they have any? Cause like, aren't they light sensitive?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't. I don't know if I'm actually. I don't know if I had brought this up, but would I have been able to ask Frank if it's safe to cast detect magic anywhere around here, or just the whole thing is just a bad idea?
You can definitely ask him now. He's still in his office,
Yeah.
right? Sure. You sort of go down and knock on the door, like pop in. It's like, yeah, come on in. Look, the ship in its entirety has a little bit of a magical aura. Years and years of handling um, magical items, cursed items, and well, the ship's curse itself. It radiates magic. I would heavily advise against it. The only
Okay.
place that would be somewhat safe to do that kind of thing is here within my office.
Okay.
But even then, I would suggest against it. You can,
Yeah.
as you already know, my side rooms are filled with magical items, so you might be blinded by them.
No, that's fair. Cool. Thanks. Sigus is really excited to investigate a little more, but not like sneak around, but just like he's interested in like how he does the containment field and everything else. But
Yo, at some point during the week, Sigus, Robin's like coming up to you saying this in character. He's gonna be like, yo, at some point during the week, Sigus, you need to see if Frank will let you into the void vault that he has. Shit's fucking whack, man.
cool.
Yeah, you'd get a kick out of it.
Quick out of character question,
Certainly.
kind of for the party, but also for you. Is there any magic item crafting that's going to be happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a 5-day ride. I have some stuff that I wanted to make for myself, and then I had some other time set aside. Robin's asked that I can make a cloak of resistance +2 to help him not die. And then he was also looking at some gloves, but if like other people have other stuff too, like throw it at me. Like, once I have, so I need to do some stuff for myself personally. I need to make my gloves and train my valet. And then I kind of every day I can do like 3K worth of magic item production. So
He's a monster at crafting items. Guys.
yeah.
The reason I ask is because you have to buy supplies to craft the magic item.
Yeah. So I had. Yeah.
The next question was, did we have time to buy supplies before we left?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
So
sort
we
of,
had that-
That was last night.
yeah. So we brushed over it, but like yesterday and this morning, before you boarded the ship, you would have been able to buy anything that you needed from town.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think the cloak of resistance is really important for Robin, and like whether those other gloves need to be prioritized now, I don't necessarily know. But like if there's other things that you guys think are really important to get done as soon as possible.
The other gloves in question, by the way, just give Mage Hand and Prestidigitation at will.
Yeah, which is
And
like
they're cheap.
Yeah, it's a lot of utility, and it just fit with the time I had left. But if you guys have other
That's fine.
ideas, like throw them at me.
I was just wondering, because the all the things that I would like are expensive, so it would take. I think all of them are at least 4 days, so don't have to worry about that.
I was
4
gonna
days
say
at 3K a day, or at 1,000 a day.
At 1,000 a day. So yeah.
Yeah, so I can do 3K a day.
Because he doesn't sleep, remember, so
'Cause,
he can do 8-hour crafting.
Valet doubles my production, and then my spellcraft is now going to be plus 22, so I can take an extra 5 to do an extra 1,000 a day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You can actually do 6,000 a day then. 'Cause
Oh,
you're
do
not-
the doubling stack or
No, because you're not sleeping.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
you do
but I
twice
thought
the
I
amount.
thought our chat with you was I could only use that to like scribe scrolls, because
Oh,
like,
you're
work
right.
with-
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you
'cause
can.
otherwise-
Yeah.
And maybe later we'll fudge that, but I think that's something that could just break really easily.
If you weren't sleeping by other means, such that you could exert yourself, then you could do
Yeah.
double.
So we need to get him a ring of greater sustenance, and then we'll be good.
Guys,
Or-
at some point
or-
I'm just gonna retire and run the Bat Cave. It's like what he's coming at, a magical car.
Well, is there anything you guys need before the ship departs?
I think I picked up everything already.
Yeah. Can I just kind of observe what this drow is doing? Just kind of like scan the area, but like
Sure. Give me a
linger
sense
maybe a little
motive,
bit.
I guess.
Okay, gotcha.
So you get the feeling like, I mean, the drow is doing captain-y things. It's very obvious at this point that not only is he the captain of the ship, as in he doesn't own it, but he is the person in charge of the ship. He is also very clearly worked with this specific crew for a long time, because he's pretty much silently directing the crew. Aside from that, he's sort of quite stoically handling the helm and sort of waiting for something, probably a signal. And he's sort of directing everyone to, get the sails ready to deploy, getting the anchor lifted, and whatnot.
Okay, so just normal captain-y things. Okay.
From the looks of it, I don't know how much you know about ship driving, I guess.
Ship
Piloting.
Yeah, sailing.
Piloting.
Yeah, go.
No, about
I was
sailing.
like conducting. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's all good.
Would that be? Could I roll a knowledge check?
Sure. Do you have profession sailor?
No.
No.
I'm like,
you-
sure.
Then knowledge engineering would be the closest one.
Okay.
Engineering, not dungeoneering.
Oh.
I'll take the first roll, which was a 12 plus 9. Okay, so 21. Yeah, it's the same. So, I mean, it's like he's ordering the orders he's giving is maybe a little bit like that doesn't make quite a lot of sense, because he's like getting ready to set sail at like as if there were strong winds. And today's like a quite calm day.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go to Grigori and be like, Grigori, do you know anything about drow?
Not particularly, but I've not had the displeasure of meeting one before now. I've heard that they are quite evil creatures.
And then I guess anybody that's in like the same area, I would just kind of let them know that he seems like he's, telling the crew what to do, but it seems a little sus. It's not really making any sense, and I'm not really sure.
I have a thought there, Sailera. Erica is kind of setting up a practice dummy on the deck. If if the ship is cursed, it might have something to do with the curse that when we set sail, it will be violent.
Maybe
You said that they were
Oh yeah,
battering
maybe the
down.
ship always sails in a storm. Hilarious.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess
And
that.
also on the drow thing, they do tend to be evil, but based on what Dorbin said earlier and what you're saying, I think we do have to give uh, our benefactor the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he hasn't done anything bad so far, and I assume the same has to go for his crew.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I just, you know, I. Who, fair.
I know, it would be the same thing if for some reason he had a captain that was a hobgoblin or something. I would be quite on edge, but I am trying to restrain myself.
I've
Um,
never actually met a drow, so I just am like,
Yo,
Neither
just
have
be
I.
cool, guys. Why are you freaking the fuck out?
probably because people are dying, and so we
I
kind of
can
have to
do
be
a
on edge about
detect evil
everything.
check if you want.
I mean,
I
he's
can
gonna.
guarantee you're gonna detect evil on this
Yeah,
ship.
This is a cursed ship, you dumb fuck.
it's gonna do. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I
I'm
mean,
just on
she
edge.
she can specifically focus it on a single person as well. That is
Yep.
part of the
Oh,
paladin
true.
thing.
Yeah, you can just detect if one thing without. Yeah, you're right.
That's okay. I think I'm just overreacting.
I think it's probably fine if he's trusted enough to be the captain and Lion's good with them, and I mean, sorry, and Frank's good with them. Then
Did
I think it's okay.
did we see Frank like see them at all, or did they just like routine? They kind of just are doing their thing.
It looked like routine. They came out of the lower decks, up the stairs, and just like went up onto the captain's sort of because this is a galleon. There's like a divot. Like the main deck is lower than the front and the back of the ship.
Right.
There are stairs to get to those to the far ends of the ship.
Okay.
So he came from downstairs and just went to the helm and
Oh,
like
okay.
just
Gotcha.
stood there and started giving directions to everyone. No
Okay.
questions asked. Nothing.
For some reason, I thought that he was just like coming out from like the the docks or whatever, like out of nowhere, like hopping on the ship, directing people,
Yeah.
just like,
From the looks of
who is
it,
this guy?
yeah. From the looks of it, they have been on board.
Okay.
They were on board all along, sort of thing. Like you
Okay.
you
Then
never
that's
saw them
fine. That
walk onto ship.
that makes me less suspicious of him then.
Erica, do you
Gotcha.
still want to detect evil on them or not?
No, no.
Okay.
That was more of a comfort thing for Silera. She's taking Dorbin's advice to heart and trying to assume the best.
All right. Then, unless there's anything you guys want to do for the next 20 minutes, it's going to be 20 minutes before the ship departs.
Erica is gonna continue setting up the practice dummy.
Sure. With
Well, actually, she'll check with the captain to make sure that she's got it in a place that's not gonna be in the way.
okay. So
I think you should
how
probably
do-
do that after she's out. After we're out.
how do you
Well,
I
approach?
think if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you
Either of
wanted to approach the subject now or later.
I mean, maybe we'll wait until, since they seem to be scuttling around and doing stuff. But she'll like kind of, you got to build the dummy anyway, so she'll ask where a good place is once we get underway.
As you guys are sort of still on the main deck, and the orders that he's giving are starting to get a little bit more frantic, or maybe a little bit more enthusiastic with how he sort of gestures for people to move around. The time comes where like he stops, looks at the lot of you, and you can tell like his gaze is sort of focused on you, and then he sort of speaks for the first time, and he calls out quite loudly, "Hey Frank, who are we taking with us this time around?" And you see the door to the what usually would be the captain's quarters, but is Frank's office. You see the door open, and Frank sort of steps out and says, "Right, it's just some friends of mine. Don't worry about them. Though, everyone, I would suggest that you start heading downstairs. Make yourselves comfortable in any of the rooms. They should all be open. Cal, when you're ready, I believe we've already gotten an authorization, so you can go ahead and set us off. Just make sure that everyone's comfortable before we do. Right. Okay. Dear guests, please head downstairs if you would.
Before heading down, Gregory would like to ask either Frank or the captain, is there anything that we may encounter on our journey that we should maybe keep an eye out for?
You're asking this to Frank or the captain?
Let's go with captain.
Sure. He sort of looks at you and says, "No, we should be fine. It'll be a bumpy ride, though, if you haven't sailed with us yet."
I have not, but I should be okay.
Define bumpy ride. I was hoping to get some practice in somewhere while we were en route.
En route, yes.
Well, I know that there is a storm coming from the south front. We'll be hitting it when we're coming across the the marshlands. It'll be very tumultuous, very shaky ride at that point. I would recommend that you stick to the lower decks when the time comes.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads up.
We certainly appreciate that. And head downstairs.
And for everyone's convenience, I'm gonna show you the entry for the captain. That should be showing up.
Oh.
There you go.
Sweet tats, bro.
Is that a Dragon Age dude?
Possibly.
Looks sick.
That's kind of freaky looking.
Yeah, he's
Has
cool.
the tattoos of a Dragon Age drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
very
it.
likely. I mean, you guys are free to head downstairs or stay on the main deck, but Cal, as he was referred by Frank, will start to sort of gesture for everyone to lift the anchor and set sail.
Gregory would probably stay above deck.
Okay. Everyone else?
I will be below.
Sigus
I'll
is
just
gonna
go down.
try and
Yeah.
get to his room and just start setting up for a workshop. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
I'll help Sega set up if he needs anything.
Erica's gonna keep working on the dummy. Just take
Yep.
it down to the room.
There are several personal quarters, sort of thing. Like very, very small, single bedrooms that almost make you feel like you're not on a frigate, and you're more on like a sort of personal cruise, like a similar to the ship that you were earlier. Yesterday that you were on yesterday. The rooms are quite nice. They're very plain, but still accommodating. And you can see there's as you go down the stairs into the lower decks, there's yet another two sets of stairs going all the way down to the cargo hold. And you can see there's in total 30 floors to the frigate below deck, essentially.
awesome.
But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a tight fit if you set up shop in your room, but you should still be able to work quite calmly in there.
Mhm. And
But
I
with
don't
that-
need the bed.
You technically don't.
Right.
No. But with that, the ship starts to move, and Grigori, you feel the ship sort of like There's very clearly no wind. Like it's almost feels completely calm, and the ship is still like moving as if there was a breeze, a quite strong breeze. Like it's suddenly jerking forward and being propelled by an unseen gale, and you see the sails sort of puff up and forward as the ship starts to overtake the others on the docks. You see some flares signaling their permission to exit as a very clearly military ship moves out of the way just in time for the misfortune to sail across and out of Magnamar. With that,
Just
I'm
because
good.
it's cursed doesn't mean it's all bad.
Some cursed items are quite fun, especially if you're not doing the thing that procs it.
Yeah. So
Like have anything that makes spells be cast twice when you cast it in an area.
you should be
Just fireball.
seeing
Just fireball.
just fireball. You should be seeing the map for Verizia. And you'll notice that you guys are going to be sailing south first around the Lady's Light and all along the coast of the Mushferns, before arriving to Corvosa. And this is going to be a 5-day journey. So if there's anything in particular that you would like to do during these 5 days, aside from crafting that we have talked about, let me know. Otherwise, there might be some events that might happen during the journey.
I would like to do a little bit of crafting.
What kind of
Curveball.
crafting?
Poisons.
Ooh.
I love it.
Sure.
Ooh.
And probably have
Um,
Rob apply it to ammunition.
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
All right.
Robin just applies all the poison to the arrows and like, man, I don't fucking understand how people can fuck this one up. Like, just don't touch the poison, guys. Come on.
So,
It's that
what
easy.
what poisons are you crafting, and where are you getting the materials from?
Well, I figured that the night before heading out,
Mhm.
I would make a run to the beach and gather up a bunch of shells for that one that is a 0 cost. Poison.
Ah, you're making some good old what is it called?
Quick line.
Quicklime. Thank you. You're making some quicklime. All right. Yeah. You
I-
probably
so.
yeah. Yeah, you can prepare some quicklime and
Yeah, we have that drow sleepy powder too, I think.
Yep, we have drow poison. I mean flour.
Yeah, flour. This is definitely not Erica reminding you about this. This is out of character me reminding you about this.
I've got flour. Yeah, it's on my sheet as flour ?
flower.
We all know what it actually is, so it's all good.
Yeah. All right. So, aside from you crafting some poisons unexpectedly for the rest of the group, anything else you guys would like to do?
Sigus would like to have a talk with the party, and he's gonna kind of gather the people thing, and he's looks to me like, guys, so Erica, earlier you asked when we were in the church, you asked kind of what was going on with me, and I really appreciated that, and I just didn't think it was the best moment to bring it up because unlike what this. And I know Robin, and he's like glaring at Robin. This is out of care. This is just like, I'm not going through elf puberty. Ha ha ha. I have been doing some study of an ancient magic. It's called hemothergy, and it came from Carmega, and it has had the slight effect. And he's gonna kind of gesture down at his body. It's like, this is the reason why I have been experiencing some changes. And yeah, I just want you to know it's very under control. Nothing to worry about.
So it's not the bread.
What
It's
what is hemothergy? Sorry, I'm not super well
Blood
versed on the
spells, blood
arcane.
magic.
It's the ancient art of, using the innate power within one's
That-
bloodline.
Like, we talking sorcerer here, or are we more
It-
talking evil necromantic
it's-
blood magic here?
No. It's not evil and necromantic. One, I just have to say, like, blood magic has such a negative connotation. But I just want to throw it here. I'm only using my own blood. Like, that's why, and he's gonna smack his belly, which kind of jiggles. Like, I'm like fully stocked. And it's often with sorcerers. That's when most of the lore is, fuck sorcerers. But anyone who has any kind of magical bloodline can do it, such as elves. Yeah. So I know that you guys some people were making some comments, and I just thought I would bring that up. Also, I'm making this, and at some point he's gonna hold up this like creepy jar of leeches that he's made. He's like, and at some point these will be involved, and it's gonna look bad. I have no.
Well, Discord has crashed on me, so we'll be right back after these technical difficulties. Hold. Please hold.
You're not gonna start
Wait.
at some point going around and siphoning blood off of random things and people, right?
It's not a
No.
vampire. Chill.
No, I'm not evil.
It's
I'm
about
not a
it's about
bad
improving
guy.
his. It's about improving
Yeah.
and extracting his own blood, and
As
he doesn't give a
long-
shit about other people.
I mean, like,
Yeah, as long as you're just messing around with yourself and it's not evil,
Yes.
sure.
he's going through some
Yeah.
changes, and he's just
Go on.
playing around with himself.
Yeah.
Just
That's
just
the yeah.
try to
Yeah, and so,
make sure you're staying on the level with your morality. That's all I'm saying.
no, hey, yeah, I'm fine. So what this should allow me to do, and has already, though I'm not pushing it, is will let me provide so many more support spells. And if we need, I'll be able to just be more effective overall, as long as I don't pass any of those limits. This was
Okay,
actually
you're not gonna throw leeches at me though, right?
no, the leeches
I
are
don't-
for me.
I don't like leeches.
Yes. It was actually discovered in Carmaga, where Dorbin's heading. I'm very jealous if he's actually going there. Hopefully we'll meet up.
Okay.
Anyways, good talk. Closes the
Yeah.
door.
So moral of the story is you have a thirst for blood, but only your own. Got
I
it.
I just eat and drink a lot, and that's why I'm getting like so for example, when in that last battle, when like I got like cleaved in half,
Oh
like
yeah, you
I'm not
bled like
fat.
stink.
I'm mostly just blood. Like, and so yeah, so there's that, and that's the slow movement speed and everything, and it just hasn't kicked in. So I've actually stopped taking wizard levels, and I've started taking these ones, and there's just a latency in between that one kind of being accessible and my wizard levels like ending. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Cool.
Mhm. Prestige
Yeah.
classes. Prestige
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah. Well, with that having been a lovely discussion to bring the party even closer together, is there anything else you guys would like to do on the trip there?
If it's alright, would Dorm be able to be in the crow's nest? Just help him look out.
Grigori.
There.
Sorry.
What? What did you say?
I think I said Dorm.
Corbin.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Too many characters.
Yep. You
Easier
have
if
too
they
many
just die.
You have too many characters, please. Um, there is someone at the crow's nest. You could talk to Cal and see if you can help.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Sure. Yeah, they sort of like look you up and down when you bring the topic up, and it's like, yeah, I suppose it could help out. We'll give Randy a moment to rest up. Sure. Go ahead and let them know. I don't know. Let them know you can take over.
Alright, can do.
Um, give me a perception check for your first shift that you're on the crow's nest of the misfortune. Yeah. First day, nothing terrible looking. The days seem to be pretty calm. Going from on the first day, you sort of get from Magnamore all the way to the ladies' night, and a little bit over the turn, around the bend, around the hook. Uh, uh, um. Oh, it'd be alright if we made around. Anyways, sorry. As soon as I said "run the horn," and the stupid song came to my mind. Yeah, you make it around the ladies' night, and you can see into the southern seas, the inner sea. Um, and there's like a very distinct change in the waters as you round the horn. And there's like very clearly the lady's light is like an imposing sort of figure in the distance, but still, uh, it's not like there's much to be seen. You're quite a ways away from the coast. And doesn't seem like there's anything particularly dangerous or what can I say? Like there's some like clearly some wildlife that is interested on the ship, but they quickly sort of circle around and leave it be every now and then. You can see like the figures of large aquatic creatures sort of getting close and moving away.
Gotcha.
Also, for reference sake, I'm trying to find. Here we go. A picture of the lady's light. It is.
Ladies.
If you've ever seen or heard of the, well, you wouldn't be able to see it, but like, if you've ever heard of the Colossus,
The Colossus of Rhodes.
the Colossus of Rhodes, this is a similar creation. Well, I guess it would be more similar to like the Statue of Liberty. It's a ginormous statue of a woman holding a torch over her head. it stands 200 feet in height. So even when
Jeepers.
even when you're far off the coast, you can still see it. It's sort of like that's sort of Statue of Liberty type of statue. Here, I think this is the way image. No, it's the other way around. It's image and then boom. Drop. Great.
That's not how you
Yum.
spell that.
Image. Nope. It's the other way around.
Fired.
I mean, you can still click on it.
Yeah, but I want it. What I want is for the
It's square bracket image and then round bracket URL with the
No, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's not. I wanted to show the image itself. Just straight into chat.
Gotcha.
Is it this way? Nope. Is it this way? Nope. Is it this way? Nope. Well, fuck it. Why is it not working?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you, I'm
the-
laughing with
the
you.
URL needs to end in .jpg or a 1.
Oh, there we go.
So you need to remove everything after it.
Yeah. Let's see. Zoop. Will this work?
Hey.
We did
There
it!
we go. Fourth attempt, but finally it works.
So proud.
Yeah, that's there. There we go. That's what the lady's light looks like. An imposing, massive stone statue holding a torch that is ever bright. And it sort of works as a lighthouse sort of thing to the shore, to the coast around the mush fence. Yeah, aside from that, there's not much to see, and it is as you're sort of rounding the horn, and you can see the lady's light that Grigori, you are requested to sort of trade shifts once again. Yeah, that night, everyone sort of approached one by one. On your doors, you hear the knock as Frank sort of says, if I could have a moment of your time, come join me in the dining room downstairs. I'm hoping to share dinner with everyone. And he sort of goes door to door, essentially repeating the same message. And Grigori, I don't know if after being in the crow's nest for 4 hours, actually 6, you would be
Also,
heading.
real quick side note: if we're taking shifts or watch like at any point for whatever reason, and Robin isn't the one doing the watch, he can lend out his goggles of Eyes of the Eagle or whatever, so you can just get a +5 bonus on your perception.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want that, every time I go into the crow's nest, I'll use those.
Yep.
Definitely. Wait, no. If I was able to buy before I left, I've got a pair.
Yeah, we were buying
Yeah.
stuff before we left.
You guys were buying
And since the clarification of what's being crafted, I now know that I could have spent all of it. So I've got a bag of holding and my goggles.
All right, perfect.
Actually, my original check was actually 5 higher, so it's a 32.
Yep. Nope.
Jesus.
That's perfectly fine. As like the
You
one
see
thing
the
that
warts
was
on the whale going by.
yeah. So the one thing that I'll say this again, Grigori. The one thing that was sort of sticking out during your shift was these sort of large shadowy creatures beneath the water's surface that were sort of trying to approach the ship. Sort of circled it and then left a couple times.
Gotcha. I would probably inquire about these creatures and if it's normal for them to be doing it.
Who are you inquiring it to?
Probably the captain.
Sure. I suppose we do see them from time to time. I'm not sure if it's the same creatures every time, but On our way here, we were circled by them, and it happens every time that we come to McNamara or depart back to Corvosa. It's around this area that they show up. It'll be fine.
Okay, I'll just double checking. Reporting what I saw while I was up there.
Good work. Feel free to take a rest.
Will do. And he'll head under.
Sure.
Head under and guess join with whatever Frank's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you head downstairs and it is around supper time. Is anyone joining or choosing not to join dinner?
Still join.
I will join.
Erica will join in.
That's fine.
Actually, this will probably be the first time you guys have seen her wandering around without armor for the most part.
Naked.
Yes,
Stay
of course.
Effectively naked.
Low AC.
It's not hard to find the dining room, and the dining room is actually pretty sizable. It houses one large table for 6 people, and then 4 other tables against the walls, each being able to seat 2 very comfortably, 4 a little bit sort of crumpled together. Sort of, if you seat very tightly, you could fit 4 people at each of these tables. And the table for 6, which is sort of the central table, has already been set up with plates and cutlery. And right now, the ship seems to be quite stable as it's sailing through the late afternoon, early evening. And as you arrive one by one, or all together, up to you guys, you would find that Frank is sitting at the head of the table, and he is sort of holding his cane and sort of gives you a smile one by one, sort of gestures for you guys to take seats.
I take my seats.
Or
Yep.
just grab any seat. Nothing in particular. Doesn't really matter then.
Yeah, just pull up a chair.
Right?
Just
Go ahead.
I was gonna clarify. Would Erica have been able to find somewhere to set the dummy up on deck, or that's not super in the way?
On deck, it feels like there's a lot of movement, and
Okay.
everything's either.
If it's that small, she would have just set it up in her room.
Well, it's not that small, but the thing is, the main deck is everything's either tied down completely, like every single barrel is sort of tied with ropes to the masts or the sides of the ship, and at all times there's at least 1 or 2 sailors moving across the main deck.
Yeah, so probably not there. Just an open area elsewhere.
Yeah. There's not much room to set anything like a combat area aboard this ship. Like every single square foot of the ship has been almost optimized. The only place that you might find there is enough room is in the holds, which would mean that you're sort of you could set up a dummy right in front of the horse areas, like where all of your horses is being kept.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the stable had like an empty stall or berth or something, that would probably work.
Yeah, there are currently two room for 2 more horses to be kept in the ship. But once again, like it's not like the horses are very comfortable here. They have just barely enough room to lie down, or to lie down on their sides. And even then, it's a little bit of a tight fit.
Yeah, it's more just for something for her to do anyway, so that's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah, you can set up a dummy. It'll give you a good experience for fighting indoors.
And
Certainly.
on a boat.
And on a boat, yeah. Necromancy. You guys took the necromancy book with you guys, or?
No,
No,
sorry.
Dorban has it.
I just have a second spell book, and all my necromancy
Oh,
spells are in that other one. So
got
it's
it.
like if I'm
All
searched,
right.
it's not on me.
All
I don't
right, all
think
right.
sending the Necronomicon into the astral plane unattended is a good idea,
Sure.
but I did consider it.
Question: What
Uh,
spells do you have on the necromancy spellbook that you have?
Oh, it is. Oh, it's like most of the ones from it. Let me just pull up exactly.
Yeah, any
So it's
any.
got. If it's the animate dead,
Okay.
I have vampiric touch. Um, blindness, deafness.
So you
Uh,
just put everything that you had prepared into that one.
Oh, and all my necromancy
Okay,
spells are
got it.
in that one.
Got it.
Like, because I might want to prepare them, but it lasts until I need it. So
Certainly, perfect. Okay, yeah, no, I'll keep that in mind then. Yeah. Um, anything else, you guys? We were sort of gonna handle the dinner event. But yeah, Erica, you had set up some dummies downstairs. Um, Segas, you have your tiny workshop set up in your room, but you guys sort of arrive at the dining room. Erica, you mentioned that you're not wearing armor, and as you guys arrive, you're sort of offer a seat. And Frank sort of picks up the metal dome that is protecting covering the main course for the dinner, and he sort of reveals some meats and cheeses that have been prepared in a very sort of delicate fashion. It looks like it at first glance looks like it's raw meat, but upon closer inspection, it's very likely some kind of curated meat. Um, and there are some vegetables to go with it. And as he sort of reveals the dinner, the main course, he sort of gestures and says, "Right, please serve yourselves. Enjoy the food. I just wanted to make the best of the little time that we have before the trip starts to get a little bit um, turbulent, and we won't be able to enjoy a calm dinner such as this. But also, I would like to see if have any of you. I know that Robin and Zeller have been to Corvosa before, but any of you have been there before? Maybe there's any kind of information, any kind of interest upon about the the jewel of Berizia that you'd like to know before we arrive?
I only really know it by reputation, and the reputation that I know it by comes from Paladins of Iomedae, so it's not great what I've heard. However, seeing as it did produce yourself, Robin, and Silera, it can't all be bad, so maybe the like beginner's guide to it would be good. I don't know about the rest of you.
Certainly. Um, what about the rest? Sigits, Grigori, or are the two of you acquaintanced with the town, the city?
no.
Robin's like stuffed his face, and he's like, "I got nothing, mom."
uh,
I am not particularly acquainted with the city, but I'm sure I can find my way around pretty easily.
Um, you might find that navigating the streets of Corvosa isn't exactly so.
Out of character, I have urban favorite terrain, so.
Yes, but
Yeah, I
you'll
know.
see in just a second. Um,
I already know the town. It's fucking insane.
yeah, it's not a problem with navigation itself, but more so. Well, there's a lot of bureaucracy, and certain paths are best avoided if you don't want to uh, cause trouble for others and yourself. I would suggest that when possible, you avoid. Well, I suppose as long as you're with Silera and Robin, you shouldn't have a problem. But in general, try to avoid.
As long as you're with Silera, you won't have a problem.
Sure.
Yeah, Robin,
You're
we're gonna
not
have to
wrong.
put a bag on your head.
You should try to avoid the heights. Well, yeah, the university as well. They're not exactly welcoming to tourists and commoners in general. I've had my fair share of trouble with them in the past.
Good to know.
Figure a place of higher education would be a little bit more open.
Well, it is quite receptive to potential students. However, it does come with the territory of the Academy that imps and pseudo-dragons roam the skies above the university. And I would suggest that if you see them, you try to avoid them, because usually it's the kind that has gone wild.
I remember as a kid, me and another bunch of hooligans would always go around with slings trying to hit them out of the sky.
If you were shooting imps, that could not have ended well.
Well, the issue is they're really fucking hard to hit. But I got a couple of them, not gonna lie. They just don't really seem to care that much about rocks. So it's just kind of funny.
That checks out. If I remember correctly, some species have damage reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly know just about the history of the city, but not much about the actual what it's like to be there and
Well,
yeah.
the town has a lot of bad reputation in Varizia. It's not as bad as they say, though. Especially our latest king has been perhaps one of the kindest we've had in a long time. Eordan has changed the landscape, I would say. Um, Corvosa has been a lot calmer, a lot milder with him. A lot of order has been kept. Well, much as people have a distaste for her, Queen Eliosa has perhaps been of help with that as well. It's just unfortunate that the king hasn't been able to escape the curse of the Crimson Throne yet. Every year it feels like it's closer to coming to once again pass. Once again.
The curse?
Oh, right. Of course, you might not know this. The royal family of Corvosa has, for many generations, suffered from illnesses, accidents, coups, murder. Well, pretty much any kind of death you might imagine has befallen the kings and queens of Corvosa. Without them ever being able to leave behind an heir. Well, there's one exception, and that's, of course, King Eodrin. He was our first king to be born to the royal family. He's the son of our previous queen. It's the first time that we've had a royalty within the same bloodline for, I would say, a good. Well, I think it's from the beginning of Corvo's existence. Really?
Oh.
So basically, what he's saying, if you want to be on the throne of Corvosa, there's a chance.
I would recommend staying away from the throne as much as possible.
Yeah, that's the
Aw, come
feeling I
on.
was getting from that.
There's
Plus,
a chance.
we wanna focus on your father, not on the weird curse of the demon throne city.
It's the Crimson Throne, and I would suggest that you don't refer to Corvosa as the Demon City. It is far from it. even if the Academy does mingle in the arcane arts and contacting the planes of hell, uh, they do so in a very orderly and regulated manner. It is
City
all
of the
over.
woefully open-minded is probably the better way to call it.
Yes, it is a very open-minded city.
Yes, I mean that, and the aside from the rumors that I've heard about the academy, what can we expect in terms of I guess uh, uh, useful resources there? Are there temples to the good deities?
Well, you'll
I
find
would
that.
assume some.
Yes, of course. The two largest. Well, there's three primary religions that are followed within Corvus, and their temples are quite large and well visited. It's Sanre, of course, Abadar, and Asmodeus. All three of them are heralded within the city. Um, and I know that Asmodeus is perhaps not that well received elsewhere in Varizia, but within Corvosa, his worship is more so as the god of lawful and fair deals. He is a lawkeeper, what's the right term for this? An arbiter.
He's not evil unless you piss him off. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
you're not wrong on that, but yes, he is.
Piss him
He's
off, however, another story.
Yes. And perhaps I will admit that consorting with demons is not the brightest idea, and I would certainly not certainly shy away in general from doing that. But the city at large has benefited from doing so for many years, and I'll be honest, the academy makes certain, as well as the temple of Asmodeus, makes certain that things are kept above the waist, or at the very least, in what regards to the public.
Well, this will be an interesting experience.
Just stick with me. We'll be fine.
And don't follow me unless you want to have fun.
What are you trying to
Define
say? I'm
fun.
not fun?
No, I'm trying to say that you're safe.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong, and you are safer with a paladin. I'm going to try and keep my blinders on and focus on the task at hand. Best not to get tangled up with the Asmodites. They do like law and order, but it rarely benefits anyone but themselves.
Oh, and while we're on the subject of Asmodites, I would highly recommend that you, in particular, Erica, try not to piss off the Hell Knights as well.
Yes, them I
There'll
will
be
be
hell to pay.
them I will be avoiding. I am familiar with the reputation of their tenacity. I have no pretense of getting on the wrong side of them.
Certainly. Well, I should inform you that while it is the Corvosan Guard that is, by all means, the authority, the law-keeping authority within the city, um, the Hell Knights, the Order of the Nail, has been given permission to act as enforcers of the law within the city. Um, and so too do we have the Sable Company. They are also assist in maintaining law and order, although they're a little bit more aggressive with it, I'll admit.
those the people who ride like griffins?
Yes,
Yes.
it's
That's dope.
the dedicated force of hippogriff riders.
All right.
Note. Oh, I guess on that point, are there any, I guess, varying laws for Magnamar that we should be aware of? I would very much like to not end up on the wrong side of either of the ever any of the above groups.
Certainly. Well, I would suggest against trying to sell anything while you're in Corvosa. Not unless you have some permits or, at the very least, are willing to pay the taxes
Or
regarding.
you're willing to give the item to me so I can fence it for you.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that could get us into a lot more problems. Is
But
there like, so what are the laws? Is everything just very controlled?
it's a little bit hard to explain off the bat, but I suppose to put it simply, any dealings within Corvosa must be regulated and must pay their corresponding taxes.
Got
Um,
it. Any kind of
Regardless,
contract
any
or
contract
sale?
is enforced, any sale is enforced. However, there is technically nothing that is legal within Corvosa, as long as it is regarding trades. There is no illegal trade. Um, so slaves, drugs, while you would find those being heavily regulated in places like Magnamar, you'll find that Corvosa has no such rules, despite what some might say about it. There's just a hefty tax to be paid upon them.
Yeah.
so basically, as long as it's been someone's being paid off, everything goes
It's taxes.
For trades.
for trades.
Yes, in what regards to trading, murder is still a punishable offense. So is stealing. In fact, they carry a very similar weight in front of the law here.
Death or
Not necessarily death, but heavy punishments. Yes, corporal punishment is not uncommon.
right. Well, we will wait until we leave the city to sell anything, I guess. Not that we're planning on selling stuff, I don't think.
If you do need to sell anything, you can come to me and I'll act as your liaison. Otherwise, I'm sure that Seller's household can manage any kind of trade that you might. Just don't do so on the streets.
Certainly.
Um,
Speaking of that, medical, I know the Saren rights will be useful, but I'm sure they've already been contacted with regard to Silera's father's condition. Any other areas that we should look into?
regarding medical assistance.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to the academy. That's been
No,
established.
no. The academy is more so an arcane study facility. I would suggest the temples of Asmodeus, Sarenrae, or even um, even the temples of Abadar should be fine. Though expect some kind of payment to be required for any kind of service. Um, Aside from that, recently a new operation has been opened. It's a quaint little building called the Hospice of the Blessed Maidens. Um, they research health sciences, and they do provide some modicum of services for such cases.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, Sir Enray is always known as a healer, and Blessed Maidens sound like healy people, I guess.
Oh,
Ah,
it is more so a place of science. It is not somewhere where religion is taken into account, right?
sorry, I don't. I think based on Celera's description and the note that she's received, and Celera, jump in here if I'm wrong, but it seems that they probably would have reached out to those um, the temples first. So the secondary sources like science-based, whatever you're calling this, healing is a good option at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make use of this time as well to let you all know that as soon as we disembark on Corvosa, I will be taking you through some of the customs. But once we're done there, I do have some matters to attend to. And you will be free to do as you will within the town. And if you need me, well, you know how to find me. Um, but I'll be busy for the first night once we arrive in Corvosa.
Shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure we can fend for ourselves for a day or two without you. Gregory says with like a half laugh.
Do you have a recommended place to stay?
Well, I
You
would
can stay with
recommend.
me.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
recommend.
yes, of course.
I would
I
recommend
forgot that we had a house.
the Sunstress household is a lovely place to visit. Um, I would say the finest home in all of Corvosa. But well, I'll
And if you
leave.
look over at me, you'll see that I have like a really big grin on my face.
um, on that note, though, I, I'll leave you all to finish enjoying your dinner. And if you want anything sweet, there are some candies that I have procured and have left in that cupboard over there. Help yourselves to as many as you want. However, I will be turning an early night. There's a lot of things that I need to handle still.
Sounds good.
With that, he sort of stands up, gives all of you a nod and a bow, and he walks out of the room, leaving you all to finish dinner. And should you desire, have desserts as well.
I mean, yeah,
I'm like,
Robin
dessert?
will-
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. Salera.
Yes.
Once the dinner is done and you sort of go to grab some of the candy, you'll find something sort of peculiar about it, and it's the fact that as soon as you sort of pop one into your mouth, it has that sort of flavor that immediately takes you back to your childhood, and you can immediately realize that it's not just that it tastes like the candy that you had when you were a kid. It is literally the same brand, the same making that you've had all of your childhood. And it's the ones that are sort of kept usually in secret somewhere in the kitchen. Although you already know where in the kitchen your parents keep them, but it is usually a delight that your father and mother keep for themselves.
I'm gonna look around to see if anybody is looking, and as soon as nobody's looking, I'm just gonna take a handful and put it in my little bag.
Give me a sleight of hand. As Celera steals a bunch of candy.
As Grigori sees her steal a bunch of candy.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
it
I
was.
mean, I'm pretty sure that Grigori is gonna see it, but you'll can roll perception if you care about catching Celera. Oh God!
Yep.
Grigori's
Gregory's
just like staring at you as you're doing this.
Erica's focused on eating. She doesn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, yep.
Yeah. Guru doesn't really care, but he definitely sees it.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably notice Grigori look at me, and I'm just like, shh. And I put it in my bag.
You just get a little shake of the head, and what you can't see because he always has his mask up is that there's a slight grin. But
Even when you're eating?
I mean, he's not eating. He ate a little bit and then it's done. He doesn't
Yeah.
eat
Oh,
that much.
okay.
Just pulls the mask back over. Yeah. Just for reference sake, and so you can paint a mind picture of it. These candies are all shaped like slices of different pieces of different fruit, and they have rather mild, sweet flavors that match the fruit that they are depicting. So there's some candies that are shaped like rose petals, and they have a very faint rose flavor to them, a very sweet, sort of mild flavor to them. Others are shaped like lemon slices, and those, as you might expect, are extremely sour and taste like lemon.
Yeah.
Amongst
Lemon.
them, yeah, amongst them, there's one candy, like one every like around 20 of these candies, that is shaped like a very tiny depiction of a lotus flower, and it is pitch black candy. Um, I don't know if anyone dares to taste it, but Silera, you've had these candy before, and I will send you a PM regarding what they taste like.
Perfect.
Waiting to hear the reaction.
Yep.
Guru leans, sees him. Oh, my favorite. No.
Right? I'm just
I
waiting
really-
for
I really
for me
wanna
to read
eat
it and be
now.
like, oh guys, try one. It's my favorite.
How the fuck do you spell this?
I believe in you.
Lotus.
Not like that. Oh, it's okay.
While you're typing, I'm just gonna tell everybody, guys, these are the candies from my childhood. They're my favorites. And I
What do
just
they
like
what do they taste like?
bring one of like each different kind of flavors to, and I give you all different kinds. They all taste different, but they all taste like amazing, especially this black one here.
Fluff.
roll
I
a
don't
sense
know. I
motive
don't
on
know.
that?
I don't know if Solero likes that kind of candy. Up to you if it's a bluff or not.
It is a bluff because they're straight garbage.
I mean,
Oh,
Guru will
Anybody
wave-
that likes
wave
this
off
kind of
any
candy,
regardless.
so what?
Gregory will wave off any candy regardless.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna, yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, give me a bluff check, Solera, as you're trying to trick your companions into tasting the Black Lotus candy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Get fucked, people.
Solera says it's her favorite, and she's got a smile as she's looking at them. So it's like, if
What-
if that
what-
that kind of clearly makes her happy.
And
What do
then
you
I
say-
pop another one in my mouth. That's not the Black Lotus one.
What do you say, Sigus? We could try. I think there's enough of these black ones that we could both try one.
Absolutely.
you're lying.
Silaire would never betray us over something so small.
Well, I mean, it's candy. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know.
Die.
I'll take one and eat one.
Yep.
And I'm just
Same.
like trying to like not giggle, and I'm just like looking away, like giggling a little bit.
Yep. Erica, Sigus, give me fort saves.
Oh my god. I bet it's sour as fuck.
No,
Uh,
it's a very particular taste flavor profile that is on your face taste. It is very hard to keep down.
gotcha. Now, quick,
Ha!
out of character
Nice.
question.
Yes,
Really?
go ahead.
How long does it take to craft quicklime?
Because it has no cost. I'll say it takes 1 hour for 10 doses to be crafted. And that's like you can craft any number of doses from 10 below. So like five doses will still take you an hour just because you need to grab a pestle and mortar and grind everything. So like you can mass produce it up to like 10 doses per hour.
Okay.
Erica and Six, the two of you managed to sort of keep the candy in your mouth without like immediately spitting it out. It tastes like concentrated licorice, honey, and lotus fruit.
What's lotus fruit taste like?
No, lotus root.
Lotus root.
What's that taste like?
It's a very earthy, sort of almost like beet-like flavor, with a sort of sweeter taste to it. It's not savory. It's more like mildly, half savory, half sweet sort of flavor.
So this is black licorice,
Yep.
honey,
Honey,
and
lotus fruit.
so it's like super uncontrollably sweet, basically.
It's incredibly sweet and bitter at the same time. Like extremely bitter and extremely sweet at the same time.
Sigus
And
will
then
just
I
like
probably see
take
your
it out of
faces,
his mouth
like-
and just like put it in Silara's hand, close the hand, and be like, "You keep that." And leave.
Erica will
this.
Erica
don't
will
want it.
will look over at Silara and be like, "Delicious," and just kind of crunch it and swallow it.
Oh god! Yeah, you sort of crunch it and swallow it. It does leave your mouth completely cleansed, like your palate is cleansed, and you feel your nostrils sort of clear up. But aside from that, it's like it was like eating medicine essentially. It does cleanse the palate, and so it's like a good in the middle of the dinner sort of candy. But it's otherwise like, oh god, no. Please no.
And
Note to
and I just
self: I am
double
not
over
taking
in
your
laughter.
food recommendations anymore. Jeepers.
Okay. Jokes aside. They're all really good except for the black one. I'm not lying this time, as
to
I'm
be
just
fair,
like
the
laughing.
black ones are usually the bad ones when you think about candies anyway. It's always
Bruh,
licorice.
it's 2020.
Black candies matter, okay?
They fucking do.
Gosh.
It just tastes like ass.
The lemon one is my favorite, but it's a little bit on the sour side. But they're all really good. I just needed to play a little bit of a trick on you because it's hilarious.
Well,
Good.
no harm
I
done.
appreciate that, Solera. That was good shit. I knew it was happening, and I just let it happen.
Well, I certainly don't taste or smell anything anymore, so that's new.
Whoops. My bad.
Alright. On that sort of mischievous note, dinner will sort of eventually come to an end, and you guys are left to your own devices. However, one last thing happens that night, and it is that Sigus, when you go back to your room for the night, and you open up the door, you are greeted by a hello, hello, hello. As you see sitting upon your desk on one of the corners that you had left clear for work is a golden birdcage housing a rather petite looking raven. It is on the smaller and lighter side of birds.
Okay.
And there's a tiny letter in front of it. Addressed to yourself. It is sort of an envelope that is unsealed, but it does say Sigismund Inuit on the front.
Awesome. Well, I will open the letter.
Certainly. It says, Sigis, I hope that you have enjoyed your dinner, and I have left here to your discretion whether you can find yourself to your discretion if you can see yourself in the future becoming friends with Murdoch. He is the runt of the letter, but he and I have found his intelligence is quite remarkable, even for a common bird. Uh, he is, to my understanding, the best fit I could find amongst my darling little birds. Hope that you'll enjoy. Signed, Frank.
Amazing. I'll be like, peer into the cage. Hello, Murdoch.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Sort of, they cock their head to the side, then to the other. Good, good, good.
Amazing. Well, here, why don't I'll let you out of this cage, and I have a couple rules, but no picking on the books. If it has writing, please don't pick at it. And you can let me know the things you like, and we'll start getting to know each other. But he will open the cage out and kind of let the he'll open the cage out, but not like ask him to like hop on him or whatever. Let him get comfortable and kind of just kind of
Yeah.
spend some time and chat in between work and
Yeah.
yeah.
You have yet to bind to him, but
Mm-hmm.
for the time being, you're sort of getting to know Murdoch. And as you open the cage, they sort of hop out, look around the desk, sort of jumping from here to there without opening their wings. And they look at you cautiously first, and then like look around your desk, pick up on like grab the shiniest, closest piece of equipment near them, hold it in their mouth, look at you, look around the room, take off flying over to the bed, which you have sort of shifted to one side, and they stick their head underneath the pillow and start to stuff the underside of the pillow with shiny bits from the desk.
Got ya. Six will walk over and take back one of his, inscribing tools for making magic items, and he will fish in his backpack for a couple spoons and some coins and bits of string, and he'll like put a pile on the bed. My partner is giving me a very strange look as I narrate this. And then, leave him to that while I kind of get settled and kind of spend some time because I think Siggis's goal is to find if it's a good fit, and if it is, to kind of bond as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
like
yeah,
the moment you bring out the spoons and you offer them to Murdoch, you see their eyes sort of open up fully, and you can see that sort of glint in their sort of like caramel reddish eyes that they have, and they like stop. Their entire bodies are like frozen. They start to open up their wings, and you see all the feathers on their back sort of stand on end, and you can tell like they are beyond ecstatic at the prospect of more shiny things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, you spend some time that night playing with this bird, and sure enough, like the letter said, Murdoch seems to be quite intelligent. He handles, even though he's a non-magical bird, he handles a vocabulary of 54 words, which for a
wow.
raven is quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, um, up to you whether you wish to keep Murdoch or
I
perhaps.
would love to.
Right?
And so I guess I will spend, you know, spend the time. I'll set up the magical circles, and I will, as we're kind of like playing and just chatting. And you can have good conversation with 54 words, but I think this will get much better if I significantly improve his vocabulary.
Certainly.
So, much like my body, I will then improve his body with magic.
All right. Then as
Best
the
way to do it.
yeah as the contract is struck late into the evening, um, you see a glint of magic course through their feathers, their body, and then into their eyes, and you see their sort of glossy, beady bird eyes now shine with magical energy behind them for just a moment, and then they return to their natural form. They look up to you and say, "Hello, hello, master. Is there
Hello?
something? Hi, hi. Can I? Can I? Can we do something?"
Absolutely. We have much work to do. But first, he's gonna hand him a book, and he's gonna be like, read for a bit and learn the words. And gonna hand him like a dictionary. And then once he's done that, Sigus is gonna be kind of setting up other stuff. Once he's done that, he's gonna have a conversation and be like, so, Murdoch, you are an incredibly bright bird. However, what I've done is sorry, it's hard to focus because Morgan keeps looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
she
like
can only hear my half.
yeah. So, by the way, like as you say, you're an incredibly bright bird. You see Murdoch like open the dictionary and like go start to like pick on the pages, like start to shift, turn them, until you see them sort of land on the B category, and they start to like move their beak along the lines, trying to find the word bright.
Excellent. Be like, it means to be well lit, but in this case, it also means to be intelligent. But together, you and I picked you to join me. We will make many great works, go on adventures, and find lots of treasure. If you will come with me.
Shiny treasure?
Shiny treasure. Some of it I will keep, but you will keep some of the bits. And even if some of the things I will definitely purchase you many shiny things. You can build a hoard just for yourself.
You see their mouth sort of their beak is laid open, and you can see like their tongue is like going up and down a little bit, and you can hear the sort of sound. Like all their feathers are standing on the back. Yes, yes, of course, yes, yes, yes.
Excellent. And Sigus will touch one of the small side pockets of his handy haversack. It's like, if you would like, as we go through our journey, you can show me a piece, and if I say yes, you can put it in the bag, and then you will have your shinies with you.
They nod several times, very enthusiastically.
All right. Well, let's. Why don't you put your shinies in the bag, and then he's gonna start sketching out another magical circle, to try and Actually, wait, is he a valet already?
Yeah, he's
Or do I have
already
to?
like
Yeah.
the
Okay.
part of the forming of the contract between you and your familiar already makes him a valet.
All right. So why don't you, Murdoch, store your shinies, and we can get to work.
Okay. Yes. Yes. There's so much knowledge in my brain. Work, work, yes, work. Let's go. And on that note, the night comes to an end. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the journey to Corvosa?
Grigori will be spending his time crafting the poisons and then applying them to literally every arrow he has.
All right, you monster. You poison every arrow that you had as you go through pounds upon pounds upon pounds of quick climb. In fact, your room smells of nothing but quicklime for the next few days.
And you took the hand crossbow with the poison arrows too, right?
No.
Okay.
I can't use a crossbow. It doesn't help me though.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I can't use crossbows very well.
Okay,
I
that's fair.
could probably hit with it, but I wouldn't be able to fire like 4 arrows around or something.
No, that's fair.
Crossbows are also exotic, I think, aren't they?
They are.
Hand crossbows
Yeah.
are, yeah.
And crossbows are, yeah. So,
So I think bolts work with any crossbow type.
yes, bolts are interchangeable ammunition. On that note, then, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do before you arrive to Corvosa,
Do we want to explore the ship and talk to Frank, or are we kind of just moving on to Corvus? I'm okay with that too.
I'm fine with Banner Corvo.
Yeah,
I think
let's
Corvosa.
move the plot, and we'll
Sure.
talk to Frank later.
You would find during the journey from to Corvosa that there's a part of the ship that is locked out in the hold, where there's a metal door separating the horses area from the rest of the hold, and that is always kept under lock and key. It is never opened during your entire travel. Aside from that, you guys are free to explore the ship during your stay, and it's a overall pretty pleasant journey, with the exception of the 2 days in the middle of the journey where you guys cut through a massive storm that is heading northwards and across the continent. But it hits the coast of the Mush Fens, where you guys are sort of sailing very hard. The ship during those days feels like it's about to be turned over at any moment, and yet it continues to move forward unimpeded, if not threatened by destruction. But as the third day of the storm sort of comes to pass, the fourth day in your journey, you move out of the storm and once again see the clear skies and tranquil waters. And good enough, you see the coasts come together to form this pinch in sort of this stretch of water that gives way to something that is a cross between a lake and the ocean itself. And in the distance, you can see the coast of Corvosa.
We're home.
You are home. Indeed. And with
False.
that,
Wow, there's lots of people on roofs.
yes, there's like 2 tiers to the city. The rooftops of the bridge, which is what you're seeing, sort of form a precarious sort of second tier to some of the neighborhoods in Corvosa. Let me move you to the Corvosan map.
Oh,
North Point said not important, and I was like, okay.
Not important. Okay.
yeah, GM labels it not important. Ignore this area.
All right. Yeah. So you arrive at Corvosa. You would be arriving to Old Corvosa, I believe, to the old dock as the ship sort of starts to go upriver, very sort of struggling to move upriver through the Narrows, and then take a turn as it comes to the Jagara River, and eventually stops at the old docks. And it Marrows? No. Moors. That's the word. No. Is it? No. What's the word for a ship parking?
Yeah, no mooring.
Mooring, yeah.
You
Uh,
you throw out your anchor and you moor
yeah.
to the dock.
And so as I was saying, you guys arrive at the old docks, and the misfortune, not only does it moor at the docks, it is heralded by some people. It seems like the ship was not only expected, but some people are very enthused about what it might bring. And as you guys arrive, you would probably all be on the main deck, sort of watching the vistas from the ship as you sort of cross the Narrows, catching some sights as you're coming to the end of your journey. But as you arrive at the docks, Frank sort of looks at all of you and says, "Well, we have arrived, so please disembark when you're ready, and we'll be seeing each other soon enough. But as I mentioned before, I do have some quite urgent business I need to attend to. I'll be visiting the household bright and early tomorrow morning, Stella.
Okay.
Let your father and mother know, just in
Okay.
case.
Sounds good.
I think you don't need any kind of protection. You know how to handle yourselves. But if you do, I would be more than willing, more than enthused to lend you Cal here to accompany you back to the household. You need to.
I think we're good.
All right.
Everybody else?
Yeah, we've
Right.
got the horses. We have our gear. I think we're good to go. Thank
Right.
you.
Anytime. All right, Cal. Let's start unloading the shipments. All right. And with that, he starts to handle business aboard the ship. And you guys are left to your own devices in the streets of Old Corvosa. Where immediately, like as you're sort of start to move by, you can tell like Magnemar was busy. Corvosa's a fucking hellhole. Like there's way too many people, and everyone's doing everything very loudly at all times. Like there's not a single moment that there's not at least 10 people shouting something within like a good 15 feet of you. And the streets
Yeah, so
are
we're
packed.
not riding our horses through the streets, or is that a thing that can happen in
There are
these?
some horses riding, but like it doesn't move much faster than just walking. People will give you a little bit of leeway if you're riding a horse, but there's still enough like traffic essentially that you're going to be sort of riding slowly through the town. You do hear here and there people trying to sell the news. They're not quite heralds. It's more like newspaper people, like newspaper boys. And there's like someone shouting like, "Extra, extra! The king's health deteriorates further. Extra, extra! The queen might be taking over the throne." Kind of thing. And as soon as like somebody shouts that title in particular, you do hear like here and there somebody booing them or throwing something at them, and then they shut up for like a couple seconds, and then there's someone else is shouting a different title. Um, Garrison Hill changes policies, and you can hear them go over and over. Like they're talking about politics and economics, like the big reveals in for the week essentially.
And I'm just gonna say, I think that's our cue to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where's your
Follow
dad's
me.
house?
Follow me. We are
Oh,
going
boy.
to head.
So
Robin's
Robin,
dying.
when during all of this, when does your check happen? Is it when you arrive to Corvosa, or is it during the trip?
It's the day we get there.
Okay, so it's not going to happen until later tonight.
Sure.
But yeah, okay. You guys sort of take to the streets. You can tell like there's tension in the air as you're sort of traveling the streets of Corvosa. There's a lot of people that are just going about their daily business, doing trades. You catch here and there like somebody pickpocketing and somebody catches them. You hear some shouting, "Thief!" and they start to break into a sprint, and several people chase after them. And unless you stick around to see what the conclusion to that is, you sort of
Okay, first of all, what did the guy steal?
you're not certain unless you want to stick around to see what the conclusion of that
Yes.
is.
Let's
Nah.
Robin. Let's
I'm
keep
curious.
our.
No, hold on.
No, I know you're curious,
Nope.
but let's remember that
No, he
Sarah's
might just be
father is
making-
kind of dying.
He might just be making an opening. We might be able to get some free stuff. Oh, sorry. Old habits die hard. Anyways.
As you guys are sort of discussing that, you can see like the person that had stolen the thing gets caught by about 5 people, and they're immediately being mauled by an angry mob.
Damn.
Yeah. No, follow me.
Let's
keep
go.
moving.
These streets are too crowded.
You guys sort of cut through main shore and then well,
North.
depends on how you want to go about it. You could go through Northgate, go out of the town, and then go back to East Shore and into the noble neighborhoods. Or you could
That
go.
was the plan.
I will point out that you do have to go through the sort of slums that have formed outside of East Shore if you do that,
Oh, that's
which
true.
are called Thief Camp. If
Yeah.
that doesn't tell you what kind of people hang around that place.
Oh, well, and additionally, we'd have to get through the... I'm assuming there's some sort of border check going into East Shore
Yes,
if that's where the
so-
nobles live.
You would have to first depart the town and then go back into the city.
All
'Cause
right,
you're
let's
going-
just go through. Yeah, I guess let's just go south past T3 and just kind of follow that main
So you
street all the way down till we get to the
Through
high.
Midland and West Dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go through Main Shore, Northgate, Midland, all the way to High Bridge, cross High Bridge, and then get to East Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you go further south, the general state of the town sort of improves a little bit, then decays, then improves again. And as you go through the Midland section, it's a rather nice place, Midland. It's still like quite populous. There's business going on everywhere. But you still feel like that sort of a little bit of tension in the air as like there's a lot of people talking in the streets as well as sort of working. And it feels like there's like a lot going on at all times. But aside from that, you sort of make your way. It does take a good couple hours to go across all of Corvosa. I can't remember if I put this to scale. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Let me put the map to scale. That should be like that should work. Okay. It's a little bit more. It's boop. There we go. So that map is now up to scale. So just remember, Corvosa, the journey that you're doing.
Jesus, that's huge.
Yep. If you thought Magnamore was big, Corvosa is a goddamn mega city. You're doing essentially a 10,000 feet distance, which is like what, a couple miles? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say
2
at that
miles.
point. At that point, it's easier to measure in miles.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 2-mile trek
Yeah, it's like
across town.
5,200 something feet per mile or something like that.
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, you have a 2-mile trek ahead of you, and it does take you a couple hours to do that at the rate that you're going. Sort of, just because there's so much traffic that you're essentially half of the time you're essentially walking, and half of the time you're moving at a like sort of jog speed, even though you're on horseback. It is around early afternoon, just after like a 2 p.m. sort of time. You haven't had time to stop to eat or anything. That you arrive in East Shore, and sure enough, once you arrive at the western bank of Highbridge, a lot of you are stopped and asked for some kind of identification if you wish to cross the bridge.
Yep.
Birdie
I-
looks at Tylera.
Yeah, I provide my identification.
Right, and like you sort of probably are showing off your signet ring that you should have with the house insignia on it. They look at it as, all right, yeah, all right. Lady Sunstress then. I'm afraid that I must inform you. The East Shore is currently under lockdown. Um, there's been an outbreak in town that has been affecting some members there. If you go through, we are not going to be able to let you come back without deep inspections, thorough inspections.
Um, okay. Um, could I inquire about what type of deeper inspections will be required in order for us to leave the shore?
Yes. Well, a cleric of Sanrain, a cleric of Asmodeus must be overseeing your health, the state of your health, to ascertain that you are not carrying the disease with you.
Okay.
Apparently, some of the folk in East Shore have contracted um, the same kind of illness that ails the king. Appears.
Can you describe the disease, sir?
It's
I don't mean to
I
pry.
don't. I'm sorry. I'm not a health expert, but it appears, from what I understand, to be some form of leprosy.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Do you by chance know when the first case occurred?
I'm sorry. I'm not that well informed, but I do believe the first case was king. It's been a strange disease. Despite our best efforts, nobody has been able to cure the ailment.
I'm sure the priests of the Dawnflower and other deities are working in East Shore. We may be able to get more of them, Silera.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
Right? Is all of your entourage gonna proceed with you?
Yes, please.
Like, okay.
What?
Do we
What?
have like I'm just wondering, like we don't have a very high for could we add a couple like how is it under quarantine like everyone in there they think most people there have it or how is
They're
it spread? Do we know that?
Yeah, do
the
we know how it's
this
contracted?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um, yeah, you can ask that. It's like, right. Oh. He sort of gestures for another guard to start opening the gates, and then he turns to you, Caesar. Right. As far as we've been told, we are not to stay within 10 feet of anyone uh, while within the East Shore. Everyone
Oh
has.
my God, it's Corona.
Yeah.
Everyone
Listen,
has been.
Bozen, out of character. I need you to stop bringing in real life stuff into Fantasyland.
This is our
I do
escapism.
not appreciate it.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I was going through this. It's like, oh no, this is Corona all over again.
We're supposed to be
You did it
escaping
once
real life and
with the
going to
weird
Fantasyland, and
lockdown
you're
in
ruining it.
Magnemar. Now you're doing it again.
Yep. And then on Friday I did it again as well. Yeah. Right. We've been told not to approach anyone that has been coming from East Shore, and any kind of transit coming in and out of the neighborhood must be inspected by the clerics of Sandray and Asmodeus. That's as much as I know, I'm afraid. There, we haven't been told if it's airborne or by contact that the disease is transmitted.
Once we kind of get through the gate, Erica will kind of turn to the party and be like, "Remember, I am, I don't get sick, so I can keep people out of the way if it does come to that."
Probably can't get sick.
No, I mean, Iomede's grace allows me to be fully immune to magical and mundane diseases.
That's pretty sweet trick.
Yeah, you power up yourself with your own blood. I pray. Each their own.
Hmm.
Hey.
One requires a lot less work. Just saying.
I'm just.
Everyone, if you're gonna go through, you're gonna have to go through now. We need to close the gates as soon as possible.
Yeah, sorry, I
I'm
was
just gonna
saying
look
that
at
kinda as
everyone
we
and
were going through.
say, "Is everyone okay going through?
Like,
Yeah.
Is there
no,
anyone
but
not
I don't.
okay going through?"
Ah, it feels good, you guys. It's probably
I'm already
better with you
dying. What's
guys
the worst
than.
thing that can happen?
Okay.
Die faster.
And I will
Hey.
just be. I will lead the way, and I will say, "Thank you, sir, for your time and your service."
Welcome, my lady. And with that, you guys proceed to East Shore, which, unlike the rest of Corvosa so far, seems to be pretty calm. There's only guards on the streets, sporting the blue, black, and silver colors of Corvosa in their attire. You can see the badges of honor, their insignias of the Corvosan Guard, proudly presented on their chest as they are, and shields, as they are sort of perusing the streets and keeping the order. There doesn't seem to be too many people outside. There are a few. Most of them look like servants of one kind or another. And everyone seems to be carrying some kind of baggage with purchases. You can tell that it's mostly food that is being traded here. Or being carried by these people. But all in all, like, your group is by far the largest concentration of people here. There's like individuals aside from you. But Celera, you can guide the party back to your home if you so desire. On the way
Yes.
there, however, I will point out you would be passing by a rather fine estate that has a golden gate sided by white marble stones and a fence that stretches far and wide with a grandiose and far-stretching front garden to this marvelous mansion at the far end of the property. And Robin, you would immediately recognize this as being your own home that you were
Yeah,
coming
hold up.
across.
I gotta take a piss real quick, guys. And Robin's gonna like walk up to the wall and just fucking unzip and start taking a piss on the wall.
Robin,
Oh,
are you trying to be discreet at all about this?
Sure.
Sure or no?
Sure.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, I guess. As you're
How
trying
do
to
you
be.
stealth pee?
No, I'm gonna bluff. I'm gonna like definitely go to there to take a piss for everybody that heard me say that I'm gonna go take a piss. But for everybody else, that's looking like they have no idea. It's a nat one, so I'm definitely up there, just taking a piss.
Just taking a piss.
Sure.
I'm just taking the piss,
He's gonna get
man.
himself in
the
trouble.
whole moderate in action thing, Robin. Moderate.
Hey, it's my house. I can do whatever I want to it.
Yeah. As you're saying that, Robin, you hear a guard scream at you. Hey, stop that! As they are now running towards you.
Oh. Alright. Hold up, let me finish.
I just myself
I mean,
Grigori's
yeah.
like, fuck this shit.
Right. So.
this, sorry, and
Pretty
Robin,
much when
this
you
is before
stopped,
we go
Grigori
into
just
the-
kept walking. Like, I'm not going to be a part of this.
I think
this
we'll
is
start
before
pointing
we go
out
to the
architecture
East
to
Shore?
Grigori as we go down some side
Yeah.
street.
Is this before we go to the East Shore, or is this in
This
the
is
East Shore?
in
This is
East
in
Shore.
the East Shore, yeah.
Sure.
Great. So don't come within 10 feet of me.
Right. Robin, as you are sort of, your party is moving away from you. The guard sort of is charging at you as you still have your dick in your hand and peeing. And they immediately grab your shoulder, put a hand in your back, and just slam you against the wall that you're peeing.
Hey, man. What happened to the whole distancing thing?
You're under arrest. You may hold your silence. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And they start to give you just the spiel.
Can I put my dick away now, or are you just gonna?
You have your dick out, and they are cuffing you behind the back. Like they are holding, like they have one hand cuffed, and they're about to cuff the other. And it's like, right, put your dick back into your pants, and they let go of
Alright.
one hand as they are
Do
holding
they
your shoulder.
know who he is?
Doesn't seem like
Clearly
I have a
not.
lot
Okay.
of tattoos on my face now. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they could.
I'm
Uh,
gonna kind of like cut in, and say, I'm so sorry, sir. This is my brother, and my friend, and I'm just trying to go see my father, and
I'm sorry,
he's
ma'am.
not doing so well.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I do need to report this. I'm gonna have to take it up to Mr. Banks, Lord Banks.
So he like sort of lets go so I can put my dick away, right?
He lets go of one of your arms, but he still has one hand of
Don't
yours
do it.
in a cuff
Yeah.
and has a hand on your other shoulder, essentially.
Neat. I'm gonna knock him the fuck out.
And
Go
I'm just
ahead.
gonna back up and just walk away.
I
was
will point
trying to
out,
help.
he is not flat-footed against you because he does have you in a grapple, and he is essentially attacking you, right?
That's fair.
You punch them in the stomach. They go, all right, you ask for it, and they grab the back of your head, and they smash you against the wall.
All right.
What's your? Never mind. You take 16 points of lethal damage as your head is smashed against the marble pillar. And then they grab the arm that you used to punch them, and they're trying to essentially grapple you to put the other cuff in place.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I did put my dick away before I punched him.
I imagined.
Yeah.
You just
It's not. I'm not just freeballing it over here. It's like, hold up, I gotta put my dick away. All right, now I can beat the shit out of you. Alright.
Free Willy, dude.
Yeah, man.
Alright, what are you doing? What is everyone doing at this point, actually?
I've slowly backed away as I see that he's punching him, goes to punch him, and I just kind of back away and reconvene with Erica, Grigori, and Sigus, and I'm just like, I tried.
Yeah, we just kept walking, so anything we could get into, unfortunately, that's.
Given the situation with this lockdown and with everything going on, I think he's got to get himself out of this one for now. If it does come to it and he gets arrested, we can go get him out.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue is going to be that he has a bounty on his head.
Yup.
Yeah, speaking of that bounty, I would just like to point out that the first thing that Robin's gonna do is be like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm Robin Banks. Let me go.
Alright,
And
wait.
that's pretty much going to throw him off and make him flat-footed, and then I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. That's
Right.
the idea.
So what are you doing, Robin? Because it is currently your turn then.
I'm gonna be like, hey man, I'm literally Robin Banks. Let go of me.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Come on,
Yeah,
Paladin, you're supposed to be
Yes,
good at that.
You say that, and they go, "Yeah, and I'm Queen Eliosa," and they're gonna try and twist your arm essentially behind your back.
Oh, thank God, they have no idea who I am. This is actually gonna be a lot easier to walk around than I thought it was gonna be.
All right. So what are you doing?
I mean, he's just grappling me right now. That's it.
He's got you grappled right now, and he's gonna attempt to pin you in his next turn.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna try to escape artist.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I'm pretty sure that's higher than my CM.
You do have a minus.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say you do have a -5 because one of your arms is handcuffed.
You're not having good luck, my dude.
No.
Nope.
So as you sort of try to slide away, he grabs onto the handcuff itself, like pulls your arm behind your back, grabs your other arm, and you immediately hear the ka-chink as your second arm is now handcuffed behind your behind your back, and they push you against the wall. Um,
Did
and you feel
they
like
beat the CMD?
come again?
Do they beat the CMD to pin?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. The most of the guards in towns are grapple builds, specifically because they need to non-lethally take down aggressors.
That makes
Um,
sense.
Yeah, so like they push you against the wall, and they have one arm behind your head as they are sort of pushing your body to be pressed against the wall, and they are sort of patting your sides to see if you have any weapons on your belt, and then they grab
I
your.
don't believe,
Come again?
I don't believe I do. No.
Uh,
What about your longsword?
Oh yeah, I would have. That's true. I would have the longsword of Iomade. You're
yeah,
right.
they unsheath your sword and throw it behind them.
Oh, that was not a good idea, friend. All right. All right. Okay, no, that means that I'm getting serious if they're gonna throw away my fucking sword. That's not cool. I would have just taken it off my belt and set it to the side, but if you're gonna fucking throw it, I'm gonna fucking throw down. Guess what? I don't need to fucking punch you. I can kick you. So I'm gonna start kicking him.
Sure. Go
But
ahead.
Before I do that, I'm gonna
Yep.
feint him. So I'm gonna be like, all right. I'm just gonna sit still. Guys,
Oh my
what
god.
are my rolls tonight?
What the
I rolled a
fuck?
2, 1,
Seven.
and 1.
Happy birthday!
Seven,
You're getting
seven,
taken down.
1, 9, 2,
Guys,
1,
can
1.
I literally roll not a 1?
You haven't,
No.
you haven't
Apparently
rolled above,
not.
You haven't roll above 2 for like the last 8 rolls.
I'm confused
Today.
why a paladin of Iomade would pee on somebody's house.
It's
That's-
my house. I
It's-
can do whatever I
it's-
want to it.
That's
It's
what I was
your
trying to tell him.
Parents' house. It's your
No,
parents' house, not yours.
It's mine.
You do not
Um,
own.
Mine.
Robin
may
is
I,
convinced that he owns it because it's his own house. So
May
it
I
doesn't
quote to you the last 2 tenets? I will suffer death before dishonor, and I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate
man.
Iomede's
Look.
perfection.
matter. Hey man,
Keyword
I could have
strive.
burned it down, but I didn't. Okay?
Yeah,
But
Equal and opposite reaction.
I know. I'm just.
you
like,
are pushing it though.
Erica, no, I'm not saying that out of character. Erica's just face palming in character.
Mhm.
So, Robin, you've tried to feint them, and they are having none of your shit.
All right, I'm just gonna start beating the shit out of him then, if that's what he's doing.
Sure. Go ahead. You have a
Yeah.
-4 because you're currently pinned against them, essentially.
Sure.
You still manage to give them a good kick in the balls, like a heel up, and they son of a, and they sort of throw you to the ground, and they're essentially gonna try to hold you down, as you have been tied, and like they're trying to restrain your legs as well. What's your CMD?
My CMD is 22.
Okay. Right. So yeah, they throw you to the ground. They sit down on your back, and they grab both of your legs, and you can feel something being wrapped around them, as you feel your legs sort of being pulled behind, like up and behind your back, and then the handcuffs on your arms are being connected to whatever is holding your legs. As you sort of look behind you, you can see like your legs have been tied, and they are now tied to the handcuffs. So you're sort of pig roast right now, if you get what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yep.
like in a scorpion position.
Yep. Hog tie.
Hog tie, yeah, essentially.
Yeah. All right. I mean, the only thing that I can do is escape artist.
Essentially, if you want to keep resisting arrest, essentially.
Yep.
That's not gonna cut it.
Still not above a 10.
Nope. If you can't roll above a 10, it's gonna be very hard for you to get out of this one.
I can imagine.
yeah,
My attack rolls are.
yeah.
But everything else is not.
Well, all of this has been going on. 2 other guards have now arrived to the location, and they are one of them is focused on the party, and they sort of look at you guys and go like, "All right, is he with you or not?" He's asking the party at large.
Someone else say that.
Under
Just
my breath, I'm like,
specifically-
do we claim him?
Claim the bounty, you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm making it easy for you. Jesus.
The issue is, if we say you're with us, then we go to jail too, because we've been harboring a fugitive instead of just turning them in.
I mean, you just brought him. That's the idea.
Solera, give me a knowledge local.
Yeah, I just don't know how the laws of this place work.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm. And
Solera,
Eric is not going to turn him into his dad.
Solera, you don't know much about politics because that's sort of one of the subjects you ignored in your most of your life while you were in Corvosa. But when it comes to getting into trouble, you're a noble from Corvosa and from like a recognized noble family. You could pretty much get away with like 90% of the things. Most misdemeanors are just gonna be like are gonna be more political reprimands than lawful reprimands.
Gotcha.
So you know that if you claim responsibility for this one, your family would get a reprimand. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's still not. You're not gonna go to jail, sort of thing.
Yep, we claim him. I'm sorry, I'm Celera Sunstress. My friend here is, pardon my French, a pain in my ass.
It is possible that we spent the last few days crafting alchemical ingredients. There is the possibility that it got to his head and is making him act like this.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
He sort of the guard that is holding Robin down sort of looks to you guys, looks at Robin, sort of leans down to look into his eyes and grabs your face, Robin, as they stretch one of your eyelids open, wide open, and like you can see like their reaction in their face, like quite visceral. Like, yeah, he looks high as fuck. Fine. He sort of starts to untie your legs from your hands.
It's like, bro, this is what I always look like.
Yeah. And
Because I'm always high.
they untie your legs from your arms, but your legs are still tied. And they sort of hoist you up, and it's like, right, you're gonna have to take responsibility for him. Make sure that he doesn't go about doing anything else, or we will have to take him to custody.
If you leave him tied, we can just put him on the back of the horse for now.
All right, if that's what you'd like to do.
Well, he's clearly high and not able
It
to
might be the-
control himself.
For the best.
Erica, you get the distinct sensation, the distinct, like, clear indication that they are not talking to you. They're talking exclusively to Silera.
They don't care about you.
Essentially.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll keep his arms tied. We'll take him as is.
All right, and Robin, they hoist you up and throw you over the back of a horse. Probably Erica's. Yeah, they throw you over the back of Erica's horse. Still hands and legs tied. And they sort of, the three guards sort of look at you, at the group. They're like, all right.
Impossible. Because
that's
I'm
not what
hanging over
I
the horse now, by the way, I
Yeah.
have like my arms on the other side of the horse so they can't see my arms, right?
Your arms are, so they put you belly against the back of the
Belly
horse.
down.
Yeah, belly
Yeah.
down.
So
So
my-
your
my
arms,
legs
your
are
arms,
Arms are
them.
still behind your back.
yeah, arms behind the back. So your arms are in full view.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I'm just
Um,
gonna say that's not what I wanted, but never mind. Thank you.
I'm just gonna continue escape artist checks.
That's
And I just
Silera,
Oh
that's
my
not
God.
what you meant. That's not what you meant, but that's
There we
what
go.
I meant.
Right. So well,
Whatever.
so, I'm sorry, my lady.
I'm-
Should we untie him then?
It's fine. We'll take care of him.
Let me go pick up his sword.
Sorry
The guard
to-
picks it up
to
and
bother
hands
you.
it over to you. Right. Try to keep order as much as possible.
I mean, I'm real sorry about punching you and kicking you in the balls, but you kind of you kind of broke the 10-foot protocol, so I kind of had to.
They just hand over your sword to Erica. They are not addressing you.
Fair.
Smart.
So, just to point out, if they have you manacles, good fucking luck, bro.
Yeah, even on that 22, you're still not free of the manacles.
Like it's like
Nor
30
the
to 35,
yeah,
depending on the manacle.
not and neither from the ropes around your legs.
I'm just gonna say to Robin, can we please get to the house without any issues?
Could we get the key to the manacles before you guys go?
Oh, they're probably gonna want their manacles back, so they
Ah.
probably just.
Yeah, just give me a moment.
Fair.
And they unlock your manacles, and they start to they undo the knot on the rope that is tying your legs and pull it out of the wrapping. You can feel like they were maybe a little bit too forceful with it, and you can feel like the heat on your legs. It didn't burn you, but you can feel it, sort of thing.
It's warm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, please keep a lawful and civil attitude while you're in this neighborhood, and have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
They nod and they
Sorry.
start to disperse. Yep. You guys are Robin. You are freed from your bindings, and the rest of the party, you guys are free to go as you will.
Robin, I'm going to hold on to your sword until we have a talk about the tents. You're not getting this back.
I'm just gonna keep walking, and I don't really care at this point what everybody else does.
Okay.
I'll be
Uh,
following.
So you guys continue your travels, and sure enough, you arrive at the at the Sunstress household, which seems to be it's not quite as grandiose as the Banks estate, but it's still the same sort of category of building. It has a luscious green garden in front of the mansion, with silver and what was it? Silver, green, and blue gates surrounded by white marble, with the Sunstress symbol at the forefront. And as you sort of arrive, you find that the gates are closed. And off in the distance, you can spot a guard who is sporting the family colors. And as they see Tanera, they immediately start trotting to the gates. And without asking anything, they just open the gates and pull them, stand aside, saying, "Good to see you again, my lady. Please, come on in. Are
Thank
your
you.
companions joining you?"
Yes, please.
They just sort of gesture for a lot of you to walk in.
Thank you.
Follow
Um,
me, everybody.
As soon as you guys are past the gate, they close it and lock it behind you, and they return to the post. And a lot of you can enter the Sunstress mansion itself.
Yay!
The door is sort of opens as you're approaching it without anyone sort of visibly gesturing you or welcoming you into the house proper. And as you sort of walk into the open hall, and you can see the rather feels very abandoned in a way, because some of the furniture has been covered over with white sheets. A lot of things seem to be very sterilized in a way. Some of the doors that usually lay open at all times, and you've never seen them closed in your life, Celera, they are now closed, and you can tell from the way that they are set up that they're locked up. Several of the rooms are sort of disconnected, and the only person here to welcome you is the second in command of the butlers, well, the household staff, and they sort of give you a nod and say, "Welcome, my lady. Would you like to see your father and mother?"
Could I see my mother, please?
Yes, of course. Should I prepare housing for your companions?
Yes, please.
Yes, I will. Your room is clean and ready to host you at any point.
Thank you.
And he is gonna gesture for the lot of you to follow him into a side room. That looks like a little bit of a living room. There's two sofas, a fireplace, a nice coffee table with some greenery placed in a bowl, and a pair of candles. But aside from that, the room seems to be very clearly emptied. You can see even though there's no trails of dust, it's very obvious that a lot of furniture has been removed from this room. And you can see vast bookshelves that have been emptied. And as a lot of you are sort of ushered in, Reginald, you're the second in command, sort of gestures for you, Suller, to come with him. And he sort of addresses the party and says, "We'll be back momentarily. Please make yourselves at home while you wait." And Alara,
Erica looks over at Sigus. He's like, "It's not normal to have bookshelves this empty, right?"
No, this is a monstrosity. No,
Okay,
I'm kidding.
this seems weird.
I assume everything's been moved and sterilized, right? Or they're just
Yes.
removing.
It looks
Well,
like everything's been cleaned out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're not selling off stuff to try and support her father's health.
Like, possibly, but like, I don't know. He'll glance around. Does he see things that have pretty good value?
The bowl is made out of pure silver, the one that is filled with greenery, and so
Yeah,
are the candlesticks. No, sorry, the candles holders.
Yeah, and I feel like they'd probably get rid of silver stuff before all the books.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I guess that means it's not, maybe not as dire. Maybe this is just for the quarantine.
As Reginald and Seller leave the room, you hear the door close and then be locked, leaving you guys in a enclosed room. Celera, Reginald sort of leads you up the stairs into the second story and off to the side where you recall your mother's study is. Not to their bedroom, but to the study itself. And I will say, as you are heading there to have a chat with your mother, the party, you guys, amongst the few things that are left on this coffee table, the greenery, the candles, underneath the coffee table, there are several cuts, sort of pieces of newspaper, and a few feels like soft cover books have been left underneath the table. Some of them seem to be very recent newspaper issues. That is going to be where we leave off tonight's session. And you guys can pick up the news and find out what has been going on in Corvosa in the past few days.
We're in the
Nice.
waiting
Exciting.
room. We're all gonna pick up magazines and start reading.
Essentially, I will items. Yep, here you go. You can have.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about just pulling out my mortar and pestle, just going back to town.
Oh my god. Robin,
Can I just
Kikori,
say-
Erica. Yes.
How fitting is that the butler's name is Reginald? I mean, honestly.
Reginald. Yes.
Reginald. Yeah.
Reginald Bell Johnson.
I will show you the most recent issue available um, at the among the newspapers is an issue of the Swift Sparrow, a local newspaper, and the head title, the front page title is King Eldrin's Final Days, Queen Eliza to Rule, an article by Segan Kudali. And you may read this at your leisure. And we'll pick that up next week. So,
Hell yeah.
bye stream for the
Yeah.
time being, and we can
Bye,
chit chat
stream.
after
Bye-bye.
after that.
Bye,
Bye.
stream.
Peace.